Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. You are now tuned in to Pop the Trunk. My name is Vinnie Paz. I'm here with my co-host with the co-most, the Mr. Majestic Left, Right, Left Kid, Mr. Brandon Long. What's the word, Bana?
Episodio número 6. And what's up? I mean, Billy was just, were you just doing Thriller?
I was.
Oh,
I
you
was.
were? You were doing the...
I was unlocking a trunk. And
He was unlocking the trunk.
Don't do it again. I want to see what is that move. Oh, see, that's the, I thought that was, what's coming out of the trunk when you do that?
I thought he was doing the lawnmower.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit of everything mixed to make our own, version of.
Yeah, now, are these moves you use in your
Look,
practice?
he's interviewing me
Yes.
just about my dance moves. Look at this
They
guy.
are.
Yeah.
They are. I can answer it
You
for
can, like when Bill goes out a night on the
Yes.
town, little
Yes.
cutting a rug.
He has more, like I said to you, this is, I'm gonna have to know Diddy this before I even say it. But I was like, yo, you could dance. Like when we were,
Oh,
you
me?
were joking around when we were out after the
Oh,
one
yeah.
boots fight, but like not fully joking around. It was a dope song. You know what I mean?
Right,
and
yeah.
you know how it is, bro. It's like everyone does something funny at some point. You go,
Sure.
yo, this motherfucker really can't dance and has zero. Like, bro, king size is the only rap. Like the whole cornerstone of rhyming is being on beat.
Right,
I'm like, how can you dance off beat but rap?
right. He can rap on beat,
But
he
he
dance off beat.
Yeah, like, bro, he can't play the wall. He can't b-boy stance on beat. And I'm like, yo, you're a science experiment going bad. Like, how do you?
Right.
At the cornerstone of all of this is rhythm, bro. It's like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Now,
you were-
at
you
weddings,
were-
Bill, now,
he gets racked.
and
He
you can,
gets
you have moves? Do you have go-to moves?
I have the go-to move that blows people's minds. It's called the
Okay.
backwards feet, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I can stand up straight and turn my feet backwards.
You remember how like there
And
would
then
be one
dance.
kid in your class that could do the thing? What's that called?
You're
Double,
like double
jointed?
jointed?
You know,
It's
and
like-
one kid
it's
would
like
do
in my
something that would freak
knees.
you out.
It's in your knees?
Yeah, my feet can twist backwards.
It's
Like
illmatic.
you've
We'll
always
do
had
it.
this
I'll show
skill?
you next time we're in the studio.
If you
We'll get it
don't
on
do
camera.
this, can someone tattoo this on their brain?
Well,
Because
to be honest
this
with
is
you, it's been
content.
some time since I
I was
did
going to
it.
say,
and I'm
can
a little
you
worried
still
about it
do
now.
this? Can a
Mm.
post
I'll send you a
40
picture.
There's footage.
I don't-
There's
no,
not
no,
just
don't
pictures.
spoil it.
There's
I wanna
video
see it.
footage.
I
No,
wanna
I'm
see it
just
live.
saying. I'm just saying. You know
I mean,
what I mean?
Bill, we've hung out numerous times.
I used to
can't
film
believe-
weddings, right? And I'd be there, and then someone would be like the bride or groom would be like, "Oh, videographer, let's make him dance." Like if they spun the bottle
And you would
thing,
spin your legs around?
and they think I'm gonna be shy and be like, "Oh no, not me, sorry." But I literally would give them the camera and be like, "Just keep it on me," and give the bride the camera, and then do the backwards feet in the middle of the circle.
Oh, my God.
I didn't know this until
They
tonight,
love me.
Brandon.
And
I've known
then
this
everyone's
kid a
like, this
long
guy's
time.
amazing.
Yeah.
Did
and
you
then
then
he's
get
like Frank
gigs?
the Tank.
Did you get further gigs beyond that because of that?
Yes, I got referrals, and people at the wedding, they're like, you have to be the videographer."
Now, do you do baptisms, communions,
All of the above.
bar mitzvahs,
Yes.
and you do backwards feet at all of them? You incorporate this
I assess the crowd.
funerals?
If they pull him into Nam, if they want him in the bush, they're getting what they fucking asked for.
That's
He's
right.
he's
He's
trying
at
to
a
tell you.
wake.
Yeah,
He's at a
right,
wake.
right.
He does the backwards feet. He's
with
like,
the
"Ah!"
corpse. With
I
the
mean,
corpse
when I
half
do
out.
it, it sends
Yeah.
ripples through the crowd. I've seen it.
In
I've
disgust.
seen the ripple effect.
Shock.
No,
Shock and awe.
This
shock and awe, and then it gets more lit.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
didn't mean
the shock.
disgust. I meant disgust as in
But
know,
that's a
this-
party trick. I wouldn't even call it a dance.
That's a party trick.
No, but you
He's got
do
party
get wrecked
tricks.
on the dance floor though, separate.
Correct.
Like you're not
Yeah.
you're not averse to catching a body on the dance
and you
floor, is
can.
what I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
Like, there are people-
Neither one of you guys danced with me in Philly.
Hey,
That's what I'm saying. No one don't.
That's why we were a little bit,
No,
I think
but
you guys were
get
intimidated because you're
but
about
I
to get
get
served.
wrecked.
There was
I get
6
wrecked.
people in Xfinity Live, and one of them was dancing. That
Me,
was you.
right? And no one else wanted to get served. That's what was
I
happening. on
mean,
that.
I didn't look. If you want to get embarrassed, just
we could,
you know.
if you want to battle,
if you
we
want
could
to, look, Snake Eyes hasn't been out in a while.
Oh boy.
let me tell you something. We could ride the L down by you, or we could ride the train up here, and we could do the whole like, ladies and gentlemen, you know. And then
Text Pablo and ask him what his b-boy name is, Billy.
Oh, we know it.
Yeah, I know. Kid something. What was Rakim? Kid Wizard.
Yeah.
That was his first name before Rakim.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's Kid something, and mine was Snake Eyes.
Like,
So don't make Snake Eyes come out. And
is it like Kid
shame
John?
you.
Kid, yeah, it's Kid John.
It's like young. It's
Yeah,
like
it's-
Ball John.
He's like, yeah, it's Kid Bell John.
Yeah. My name's Kid Ball John.
Yo, my name's Kid Bell John. Yeah,
Um,
these fucking guys don't know how to dance. Watch this.
No, this motherfucker is like, Frank the Tank, the fucking
Who,
Will
William?
Ferrell, the Will Ferrell old school character is really like, it's Billy.
Mm.
He's the most lit that ever lived. Like, it turned the party out.
Once it hits your lips.
If-
your lips.
It could turn the party out and
I have
make
to no-sell
any.
this.
If shit is not popping, he will get it popping. He will turn your fucking mood around. It like every possible thing you could do.
We went out after the last Boots fight. I whacked down a couple Celsius. I was walking down the street, and all of a sudden, William pulled up. He's like, "Hop in, boys!" It was like out of nowhere. I was like, "Yes!"
Mhm.
Then we drove around with that Raynone.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
he's a menace. That Raynone's a menace.
I did pick you guys up because you walked to. You tried to go to the cheesesteak.
We walked
At
over to
Merlino's
Skinny
new
Joey's,
spot.
and it was closed. Even though it's Google, the phone, everything said it was open. We walked over there, and they were.
Because if they're like not busy, they'll just close the doors.
That's what they did. They just closed.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, God forbid the two of them don't have 12 cheesesteaks while they're here, Billy. It's like
Right.
they feel like they didn't fucking get, you know?
it's true. You got to get it all in. Hey yo,
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I had gone to Angelo's earlier that day.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Well,
saying. You
Yeah, I
already
mean,
on like, your
living here,
fifth.
I'm like a cheesesteak every 6 weeks kind of guy.
That's
this
how I'd
point.
be if I lived there. I wouldn't eat
Right.
it that much.
Last time I had one was around the New Year. Maybe
We
like
have
the
a guy around here that is now making the best one I've had outside of Philly, besides like
Is
the
he?
Jersey Shore.
I think
he's-
we talked about.
He's like a fucking real chef. And now, you know,
B, did we talk on air on Knock 'em Out the Box about Bradley Cooper and the dude
Yeah.
from Angelo's?
I haven't gone to the one
because I was
in the city.
wondering if you did any
Recon? Well,
serve near there.
No, well, they were saying like that the line was 3 hours long, and I was
Right.
like, nothing is that.
Nothing is no, it's not. It really isn't.
Nothing
because,
is that
Look,
good.
Angelo's is in Philly, in a Philly neighborhood, and you can hit an hour-long line there, and you're like,
Sure.
"Yo, man." I'm like, what the
But, like,
fuck?
the way that
I'm
they-
happy for them, you know. But
Yeah,
I'm like,
but like you go and you order it, and then you figure out what you're gonna do. You know, if you got to park or do whatever. And
Yeah.
usually, if they say it's an hour, 35 minutes, you got your, you got your steak because they put it in that heater.
yeah.
So you got to. I know how to navigate that place now.
Well, I had a really good situation there that you guys are aware of, and it no longer exists.
You blew it.
No, I didn't, but someone did. So you know,
Samana Beach.
Savannah Beach.
Samana Beach.
Yeah. So, what's going on, guys? Anything? Is there anything?
No.
Anything that we need to cover? As far R.I.P. to my friend Lord Sear.
Oh, that's a
you
big,
know,
yeah.
Yeah. Guys, sometimes we say something so earth shattering, like when we talked about Bob Power, and B and I agreed, like we could conceivably do an episode on just the records that Bob
This stuff
Power did.
Bob Power's worked on, right?
You know, we could do an episode on Lord Sear and his contribution to this thing of ours, and started stretching Bobito and the fact that he rapped and made beats, and then went on to more success at satellite radio with Shade 45 and Rude Jude.
I feel like that I didn't pay enough attention. You know, you don't miss something until it's gone, kind of
Yeah.
thing, you know?
Yeah.
And because I'm not like, I wasn't that hip until recently to all the serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like 10 years behind the serious, because I rode the trains all the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't listen to like, you know, I didn't commute in a car, right? So I didn't, you know, tune in. But no, Lord Sear from Stretch and Bob. I mean, it's heartbreaking. And not to be morbid, have they released what happened? Have they said what?
Sear was sick a while back. And, you know, we talk about how time moved post-COVID, you know, so I could say a couple years, and maybe it was 7. In my head, I feel like it was 2 or 3, you know? But Sear was so hilarious that even when I would check in on him, he was busting balls, you know what I mean? So it was so hard to see if what even was going on was serious, you know what I mean? No pun intended, with serious. Because I've known him and Jude, both of them, forever. Ever. And they became friends of mine outside, you know, outside of the business relationship of, oh, we're on the radio, you're an artist, you know, or come up here, or da. We would talk privately, you know, outside of music. You know, when Jude wrote his when Jude wrote his book and dropped it, like I didn't hit him up asking for it. I bought it. He's like, "You bought it, bro?" Like, word? I just said, you know, and he was like, he was sort of blown away that I didn't, you know, want a free copy or something like that.
Right.
And I would just Sear always on air every year would wish me a happy birthday on air, which was like,
that's awesome.
It was such a kind gesture because, you know, in that world, you're like, oh, I want to say happy birthday to like John Leguizamo or Spike Lee or something. Like he didn't have to say that about me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in that world, I'm not anybody. You know what I mean? In terms of fame or something. You know what I mean?
In the rap world.
No, I mean like if he was saying celebrities or something,
right?
You know, for the sake of maybe a joke or something. You know how you would bring up someone's, you know. Yeah. Rap world, those guys always show love. You know, like everyone will say, you know, everyone.
They had his girl was on Shade 45 the next day, and I guess she found him in the bathroom, you know, and it was a tough listen, I'll be honest, you know, because she said, you know, I loved him and he loved me, and you know, he was so close with her extended family. So her extended family was there with them on the radio, and it was really touching, and people were sharing memories and stories of him because, I mean, like you said, universally respected.
Oh, bro, it's similar to the Bob Power thing that we talked about. We were like, yo, could anyone possibly not say something incredible about this guy? And you're seeing it all over again with Sear. And then because of how long he's been around, you know, the very beginnings of his career, you know, when he was uptown with Curious and running around with Doom and CM.
I saw Curious. You know, posted something, and
I mean, they were a group. It was him, Cotty, and Curious as you know, as Curious. I know that he was viewed as a solo artist, but it was Cotty as his, you know, hype man, rhyme guy, and same with Sear, was a slash DJ slash hype man, kind of sung a little bit of the uptown shit hook, you know.
Right.
So those guys that was like a brotherhood. Those guys, they all were from uptown, you know, like. Curious and Sear were like brothers, you know what I mean? And the CM, Bobito, you know, Constipated Monkey Crew, and KO, you know, Scotch and them. Those dudes are devastated, known each other for 35, 40 years, you know, since they were kids. So, you know, I was just heartbroken, and I've known Sear a very long time. And, you know, there's definitely people that I hadn't talked to in too long. Thankfully, I had spoken to Sear relatively, you know, recently, and it was ball breaking as usual, lovingly, you know what I mean? So I'm glad for that. I remember like when we lost Spinbad, I would talk to him all the time, and then I don't want to say lost touch because it's kind of hard to do in this era. You could always throw a jab out at somebody, you know what I mean? But it definitely wasn't what it was at one point, and that upset me, you know, on my part. Like, oh my God, not only is he so young, but we weren't talking, you know what I mean? Nothing happened. It was all love always to the, you know, but I love Sear so much, man. He's like just one of my favorite people in this thing of ours. And it's like, he was a young guy, 52 years old, I think. I think I thought he was a bit older, and you corrected me. That was my man, you know. I think like some of those guys you know, they seemed like men when we were not quite men yet. And so I think they're much older, but they're not. You know what I'm saying?
No, because they were kids when they broke.
Right.
You know, so like it's weird to see that because when it's like everything else, and you know, you and I had a boxing podcast for we still gotta have it, but boxing podcast 4.5 years, and we talk about like guys fought for world titles when they were 21 and now they don't until they're 27. And the music industry similarly, you know, kids would break. You know what I mean? At 19, 18, you know, 20, right? Like Kane was like 20. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah,
like
man.
now kids break. Like you look at a guy and came out a year ago and like, oh, he's 28. You know, like it was a different time in the
Yeah,
90s.
bro. Like, and the single, you know, when we say the word break, guys, we're talking about like where the world knew them. But some of those
Right.
12 inches, either on Pop Art out of Philly or Cold Chillin' or Prism,
Yeah.
those guys are like 17 on doing
They
the
were kids.
first
It was
ones.
it was really like it was really a reappropriated demo.
It
for
was.
the most
Tragedy
part.
was 14, bro. The
14,
first time he was
yeah.
on a
I
Marley
mean,
Marl record. That's
yeah.
crazy, bro. That's
The
crazy.
Intelligent Hoodlum, he was a kid.
He was a kid. He was
He was a little
when he
kid.
got locked up and went away, he was a kid. He was
Right.
in his teens on Rikers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at the worst jail in the world at
Right.
18.
Crazy.
You know, so to think about that, and you know, Curious
Well,
and those guys.
how old was Chi Ali when he broke and got locked
He
up?
was he's my exact age, so he was like we were in the same grade as he broke, which again fed the delusion. Oh
It's like
shit, I could.
yeah, it's like
He was 14 when AJ Nothing But a Number came out, and
Right.
he had the Beat Nuts producing his beats,
Right.
and was in native tongues with De La,
yeah.
Tribe, Jungle Brothers, Black Sheep, Latifah, and they're on his record as a 14-year-old, you know, and he's got a deal with Relativity, and the Beat Nuts are doing you know, it was their first
Yeah.
real job. Like, yo,
Right.
you're gonna produce this whole record
Exclusively for
yeah,
him.
because
Right.
I would ask Juju and Les about that. Like, yo, is that, you know, he was
So
like,
what
no,
year
no,
was that? 90,
91.
91,
The
right? So
single
that's
drops in
before-
91. I think the LP drops around this time of the year in 92.
Okay.
But because I was gonna say, Walk Like a Duck Curious drops in 92. I'm in 10th grade. So I'm 15. It's not crazy to think those guys were like 19 then. You know what I'm saying? And when you told me
Yeah.
his age, that's the math
Sure.
would match.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You know, but that's a kid being 19.
That's a
Because
kid.
we did an episode a couple episodes
yo, they
back
could-
where I
you
was like,
could-
yo,
you-
I was a teenager.
You couldn't buy a beer
No,
legally.
not
you know what I
legally.
mean?
You could in
Right.
Uptown Harlem. You couldn't in your
Yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah,
You could
yeah.
in my
But what I'm
neighborhood.
saying, like for Chi Ali, yeah, I mean it's just it's you know it's wild to me.
What's his rhyme on the posse? Pass the 40 because my mom's not looking.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
I'm like, yo, what is happening? This kid's a kid
Right.
because
He's a kid.
it's like, all right, you had like Another Bad Creation, you had Crisscross, and they were working off the gimmick that we're kids.
That they're kids, right?
Now the youngsters, the name indicated it, but they were rhyming over
Well, I
hard
think
beats.
on this show, I said they were like Another Bad Creation, like but tough.
They were
like
West Philly kids, and their
yeah, they-
fathers, Lawrence Goodman, you know,
Right.
and their cousins and brothers, and it was like the youngsters, Chi Ali, Illegal, like those kids were like, no, we're young, but we're with a crew, you know, we're
Yeah.
you know, Naughty by Nature, you know, on around the second album, but the first album, Mentally Gifted, was helping them, and LG's doing the beats, and they were birthed from the Juice Crew, you know, the arm of Philly that was putting, you know, because Lawrence Goodman, the youngsters are Goodmans. Their father / uncle is LG the Teacher, Lawrence Goodman, who ran Pop Art Records out of Philly, who was putting out all the Juice Crew records. So Fly Tie, from Cold Chillin', Marley, all those guys were coming to Philly in 86, 85, 86, 87. Shan, all of them. You know what I mean? And that was Philly's, you know, sort of,
Yeah.
that was our end,
Foot in the door.
the foot in the door. So
Like
so,
kids getting signed. I don't think you see that much anymore, right? Am I wrong with that?
well, no, I think a lot of
Well,
these
Pop
drill,
Smoke was young.
these
you know,
drill,
he was really young.
but he was doing drill and he was a kid. I think a lot of the drill kids,
Are
hence me
young.
calling them drill kids, are mad young, you know. But I
I
don't
think like in our era, like the '90s. Remember A+ from Hempstead?
Yes.
Yeah, he was
yes.
young. That was Kedar Entertainment. He was
Yes.
signed to.
Kedar Matzenberg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was young, But again, like adult rhymes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's from 100 Terrace Avenue.
He was
in
nice.
Hempstead.
A+ was
Yeah.
nice. He really kind of got grouped in with being a kid, which hampered
right?
him.
And then of course the name choice always to me is like, oh, we got an 8. You know what I'm saying? Like
sure. And how
A+,
long can you
know?
be the youngsters? What happens
Right.
when you're not young anymore? Into
young,
the literal
right.
sense, you know. Remember like the 4th album, they switched to Philly Funksters. Remember that?
But it's like what you were saying when we had SO on here. You were like, I want to trade names with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, what was it God Complex?
God Complex was their name.
You were like, you like Star Wars more than me.
Yeah.
Take this.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's almost like if Another Bad Creation changed the name with the youngsters, it would have been more fitting.
Right. That's a good thought.
Another Bad Creation is like you could be ABC for a
sure,
long time.
and play off of both of them.
Right. And like ABC is like it is a dope name, and it rhymes well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
There's so many different avenues you could go. Yeah, I actually remember when moving into A, and then we'll move on from here, but moving into A+, I was, I think, 14 or 15 when he popped, because he's from Long Island. So, of course, you're
the
like,
antennas up.
The antennas go up, and you're like, oh, let me check this kid out. And I remember the record was a really good, solid record. There was, the stuff that the label pushes and says, but then there was like adult rhymes on there. It was, he could really rap, that kid.
I really remember him from the Beast from the East joint with Cannabis and Lost Boys and Red.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, this kid's nice.
The kid is nice.
Like,
right.
All right. Okay.
And,
I see what
Yeah. He, I don't know. I think he put 2 records out, and then that was it. And then he got like, I saw him on something, and he was like puberty hit,
mm-hmm.
and it was like, oh, you graduated. You know what I'm saying? Like it was weird.
Yeah, that went weird for all of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I think like really only the youngsters survived it, because the sophomore album comes around, the Aftermath, and they basically did what Illmatic was before Illmatic. They did it in '93. It was super producers.
Different producers. Yeah.
It was Premier, Pete Rock, LG, of course, KG from Naughty, and B Nuts. That's like Illmatic before Illmatic, So that helped them ease their way into, moving into more serious records. You know what I mean? But AZ was nice, man. I mean, A+ was nice. I think it's just
the Latchkey Child and Hempstead High. Those were his 2 records.
Yeah, man. The machine is designed to chew you up and spit you out. And if you're not prepared to move from, how many people who've successfully made that move in any genre? I guess Usher was a kid, Mike was a kid, but Mike's a once in a lifetime thing. That doesn't even count. I think Usher was a kid. Aaliyah, we don't know what would have happened, because what was she, 21 when she passed, or was she older?
Yeah, young. Really young.
She was still a kid. You know what I mean? So, some people, if and we don't know what would have happened with Chi, because he got locked up. There was,
Yeah, what is he doing now? Is he's like an advocate now? Is that?
I'm actually not sure. Are you sure you're not mixing him up with My Son?
I'm not mixing him up with I think he was rolling with My Son for a while.
Because I'm envisioning them together in my head for some reason. Are they like jail dude advocates now, like on some positivity? Like,
so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, yes, I think I don't know. I'm Googling this now.
He's recorded a bunch of stuff, and everyone from the crew, meaning DITC and from Native Tongue, embraced him. Like Joe did a joint with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would just hear random joints. I didn't hear like a project. You know what I'm saying?
When I first got Instagram, he was all over like my explore page.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? On Instagram.
I do, because I remember that.
And he was doing like advocate stuff. And
I just remember him doing the rounds in general. It was like a mix of talking about jail stuff, but also rhyming, but not like, oh, it's a new video, like him up at a radio station rhyming. To be like, oh, is Chi still nice? You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
When you go away for a stretch, it's like, yo, is he still gonna be nice when he gets out? You don't know,
Well, it's like any muscle, right? You don't if
Yeah.
you don't use it.
If,
you lose
right,
it.
right. And I'm not gonna speak for him, but I don't want to talk out of school, but I think it's known that he wasn't writing his rhymes when he was a kid. Like Fashion from the Beatnuts wrote like most of those rhymes on that first
Right.
album. You know what I'm saying?
Are we like blowing stuff up?
I don't know.
I mean,
I hope I'm not talking out of school, but that's what happened. Fashion wrote a lot of that stuff,
Right.
if not most of it. But yeah. Real quick, I wanted to say we were speaking about last episode. We were speaking about what's the guy's name? Lil Yachty, and
Lil Yachty.
I think that came up because it was sort of us being annoyed by that footage of him, and then blended with this post I made a couple years back, and I was like, well, this plays off that. We should get into that. And then I didn't read the post, which
You
sort
didn't
of
read the post.
Yeah, so there was the context wasn't fully there, guys. If you feel like, why are these guys talking about Yachty? What do they care? Because we don't really about him. But the sentiment we did care about. So I just wanted to read the post that B and I were like, oh, that kind of connects, this is a connective tissue, and I just didn't say it. So this is what I wrote, guys. I'll just read it. I said, I saw a debate argument a while back. It was none of my business, but I noticed something alarming in the comment section. A reoccurring theme. Multiple people saying things like, yo, you 40 plus years old, B, shut your old ass up. 30 is old in hip hop. I put old in quotes. 40 is ancient. 50, forget about it. And I wrote, that's a dangerous line of thought. Lennon and McCartney were washed at 35. Stevie Wonder was done at 40. Sun Ra, Miles, Peter Gabriel is 75. He's corny. James Brown was 73 when he passed, and he'd wiped the floor with every 20-something rapper on earth. Why, as a culture, have we abandoned and discarded our architects? Keith Richards and Mick Jagger are both 80-plus years old, and the Stones are still doing stadiums. If Cold Crush did a tour in 2026, what would that even look like? What about Funky 4+1? Would a booking agency even touch that? Why not? Who would go? Ask a 28-year-old kid in a rock band about the Beatles, and they'll be able to rattle off the entire discography. Ask a 28-year-old rapper about Spoonie G, and they'll look at you like you have 9 heads. G-Rap is 57. I'll put him against anyone dead or alive. Nas is 52. Jay is 55. Ice-T is 67. KRS is 59. Kane is 57. All these gentlemen are still performing at the highest level. We need to make a conscious effort to show appreciation for Grand Wizard Theodore, for Fantastic Five, for Treacherous 3, for Tila Rock. That was my post a few years ago. And that kid was up on a radio show, not just dismissing it, but mocking it. And I think that we see in other genres, say a band is huge. That hardcore band, I think my man Will produced the record, but I think they won a Grammy. Those kids, is it Turnstile that won a Grammy?
I don't
They're
know.
literally from the hardcore scene, and they won a Grammy.
And they won a Grammy.
And they're the type of kids to bring on like an OG group, say like Negative Approach, to open for them, And John Brandon couldn't say he could be their father. He could legit be their grandfather. Those kids,
Right?
Because
It was Turnstile.
when Vogel introduced me to those kids years back, they were like in their late teens.
Right.
So they can't be any more than their mid-20s now, those kids in Turnstile, And they will fucking certainly go out. And someone like Jamie Jasta, who you're familiar with because of the Connecticut connection with Hatebreed. Those dudes, are a big band, and they will bring out OGs, on tour. There's something there. Why does that exist? Why is this corny?
They're all in their 30s, if that plays into this at all, from Turnstile, but still relatively young.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if I met them a decade ago, and I in my head I thought they were at 19 or 20, it makes sense.
Especially at this point, like how old is Yachty? He's 27. We said.
Yeah,
you said he was a kid when he blew up. You were like, he was a kid. He was like 18, and we decided that was 10 years ago. He's like 28 now.
Last episode, so we talked about it, and we talked about like the SoundCloud era.
28.
You know, he was part of the SoundCloud era.
Yeah.
Which I think the SoundCloud era is both literally and figuratively dead. A lot of them.
I think so too.
I don't think that that's a thing anymore. And there's an interview now, you can find it. Again, it comes up on my feed. There is like a Fetty Wap interview where he's talking about, like, he's like, I had all these houses. Why he went to jail, basically.
Yeah.
I had all these houses. I didn't realize about property tax, you know, and then my sister calls me and says, hey, you know, there's a guy here saying we got to pay X amount of dollars in taxes. And he said, this is at the time where like the SoundCloud era, like he's like, where I was getting $250,000 off of SoundCloud. Now they're offering me $5,000 for a show. And he's like, what? You know, and SoundCloud, he's like, it's dead. It's gone. You know what I mean? Like there's no money left on that anymore. And he said, well, I can get $250,000. It's just not going to be from fucking rap.
Right.
And he said, landed him in jail. You know what I mean? Basically said, like, he didn't know how to like the, you know, the old thing. 18, 19 years old. You don't know how to manage your money.
Unfortunately, B, it's not the first time we've heard it, and it isn't going to be the last.
And it's not just this genre. It's fast money. You get it fast, it goes fast. You know?
And but like you said, even if you take what you say, oh, someone's giving me 5, let's say 10, you know, he had a smash hit with that Trap Queen shit. All right, let's say they go, he's a Jersey kid. We run over to Philly right across the bridge for 10, 15 grand. Well, when you're 25 deep, then you're going to the strip club. You're lucky if you're going home with, look, let's be real, you're going home with nothing. But let's just say you're lucky and you're going home with 5. You know how quickly everything eats
and you got to pay
that?
taxes on it.
Yes.
You know, so you're getting the check and then you're not reporting, you know, and then the tax man comes and goes,
right,
hey, what's happening?
And culturally, it's like, oh, my first $45,000 check, I'll buy a chain, not a crib, not a property or a down payment on it. I'm not saying you could buy a crib for it. You know, guys know what I mean. You know, the first thing dudes like us would think of is like, I'm not saying I didn't do that type of shit, by the way. You know, I'm just saying it wasn't as sustained recklessness. I did dumb shit and then would be like, that was dumb, but didn't put myself in a position career-wise where I was like, oh, now I'm fucked. I built it the other way around.
Yeah, I think it sounded like he tried to do the right thing, you know, and buy property without realizing that, like, even if you buy property outright, it comes with a cost. And the cost being property tax. So it's, you know, especially if you're putting your family up, which it sounded like in these properties, you know, and it's not necessarily like an investment property. You know, you're just buying a house and another house and a house after that. But he must have been getting a lot of money, you know, at that time for a short period of time.
Well, that's the thing, B. Those dudes, you know, and those type of songs and those type of careers, it comes in mounds of money. It comes fast, the money.
Right.
And it stops relatively quickly unless you can go on a run. And
I mean, and again, to your point about stopping, and I don't mean to cut you off, but even the biggest stars, like you mentioned, Usher, eventually do a residency. Because they're like, you're going to give me what to do? What? You know what I mean?
I forget who they said, but Disco just said, oh, Da-Da-Da's got a residency. You know what I mean? I remember, when me and Meth did the Ether joint on my record, I think that was around the time they were going to do
Wu-Tang
the Wu residency. Now, can you guys imagine trying to go, yo, this is the most monstrous bag ever, and trying to get 10 people to agree on what they should be getting paid in accordance to where they stand currently in the climate, and saying, well, you know, let's just say it's Divine and Rest in Peace Power and RZA at the helm going, explaining to these guys, you know, this is your market value in 2020, whatever it was then, you know, let's say it was 4 years ago. That's, you know, it's very difficult when it goes back to the Wu-Tang Forever episode where we were like, you're trying to wrangle 10 lead singers and explain and get them to understand that not everybody is the lead singer anymore.
Right.
You know?
And the band now is what's important. The group
Right.
is now what's important.
Right.
The
And
group is what will
are
bring
you
us-
willing to fumble this bag for everyone? Because this person over at the Bellagio or wherever it is, wherever the residency,
Yeah,
I
right.
forget where it was, says, oh, well, you'll get $1 million a night, but we want every member that's alive, and Dirty's not, so we want his son. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we want
Which
Young
is-
Dirty Bastard. We want
Yeah.
everybody here. And if someone's not, no can do. So then that becomes a whole other thing in and of itself, to say, well,
How long was the residency for them? Do you know, Bill?
I think it was a month.
Okay. Because
I
some of
think-
these things last for years.
I think they did I think it was like 30 days, and again, it's obviously not my business to say what they got, but it was a lot of money.
Sure. It usually is. Like I speaking of like, just having things and needing things when you're,
It was like a
sort of-
little over a month.
your career changes. Like Britney Spears just sold all of her catalog,
Yeah.
and it's just now I can, how does that work now? You sell your catalog and then like what, you can get it back in 20 years?
A lot of people are doing it. A lot of people, and ironically enough, people that I look at as being really smart in terms of the music industry are doing
Right.
it. And I didn't view it as something that is smart. I viewed it almost as desperation. And I had a long talk with not my lawyer, but a lawyer that I know, you know what I'm saying? An entertainment guy. And he was explaining to me why he thinks it can be a good move and why he agrees on the other. He played both sides of the
Yeah.
fence for the sake of the argument. And I was like, yeah,
I did the same thing with a lawyer.
I sort of see both sides of that. You know what I mean? I've talked about like if someone wants to come in and buy me out, you know what I mean, and go like, here's a few, this and just and you don't stop getting paid. You're gonna get your publisher. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah, that's the other thing people don't understand. It's not like it's just a buyout. You get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Unless you were in some crazy 360 deal, which is another topic. But like you said about these bad deals that people got signed into, some of these young kids, some of those 360 deals, you're fucked.
That's fucked. From how it was explained to me was, look, if you are of a certain age, let's say our age,
Yeah.
we don't plan on dying, passing away.
Right.
And I know that hits home with how we led the topic in, and I didn't mean to tie that in that way.
No, not at all.
We don't plan on passing away young, right?
Right.
So that was explained to me was ensure your family's wealth and success now, right? So let someone buy your catalog and pay you for it now up front. That way you can put things in place for your family members, your children, your grandchildren, etc. And in 20 years, am I right? Isn't it 20 years? You will get it back. It's not forever.
Well,
I
the
think it
deals,
depends on the deal you make.
the deals are just designed different, B. That's one,
Right.
like that deal that she got, because look, we obviously know this girl isn't well.
But wait, hang on though. Isn't it after like 35 years the copyright changes? You know what I mean?
I mean,
well,
if you
you
sell
start
your shit, though, I think you sell your shit. Like it could. Like,
Yeah, I mean, McCartney
buy
was
it back.
McCartney was jammed up there with that Mike shit, bro. Until they got money from, money piled in with the anthology and all of
Right.
that, and those dudes. Look, everyone listening to us and everyone on this podcast knows no Beatle was ever struggling for money. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's obviously, guys. I hope you understand what I mean. There's levels of wealth, and for like a small period of time, Michael Jackson's wealth was so crazy, and McCartney was
Right.
just a rich guy, a Beatle. And him and Mike
Yep.
were friends, and Mike bought up all their shit on some cutthroat shit. And Paul and George and Ringo and John's estate were able to make some really smart deals in the 90s into the 2000s and make a fucking fortune again, 30 years after their original touching down here in the States. And made
I just looked it up real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's after 35 years you can reclaim the copyright.
Yeah, but B, that's like
there's
if you want to like
But again,
claim
this
that
is-
it like is this thing that like you might not win. it's not a hard and fast rule. You get it back after 35 years.
Okay. Well, this is how that was the lawyer I was speaking to was saying that like this is why it's a good move, and then in 35 years you can attempt or whatever to get it back.
Yeah, I mean, that girl's not well.
Oh, Brittany, yeah.
Yeah, she's over 40. So you're taking that to like her being in her 70s, you know what I mean? And
I don't think so.
I don't, you know, something very dark is going on over there, you know, and
Sure.
I get the need to sort of, you know, joke about it, and then things start getting too dark to joke about, you know what I mean? There's dark forces at play over there, and someone needs to help that kid, you know, and I hope someone does. And I've seen it, you know, you and I were just talking about it, Billy, like Tommy Hearn's kids are like robbed him. He's like,
oh yeah,
you can't understand him speak, Billy, because you know he fought every great fighter that ever lived. You know, everyone he fought them all.
Right.
The guy's sitting there telling him, "You're being robbed." And his son starts realizing he's pinched and starts whispering to Tommy.
Yeah, we're gonna end the interview now.
You know, we're gonna.
Right.
Yeah, it's real weird.
It's, you know,
I'll send it to you, Bill.
It's not good, bro. You know, and it's just over and over and over that it's the most gross game in the world. And how much are you willing to give up for it? I don't know if you were to get through to that girl, you know, because you can't obviously now because of the state she's in. If you were to have a half hour with her, right, clear-headed, just for, you know, 30 minutes, would she be like, I'd give it all back, take it all back. I just want to be like a normal Britney girl from whatever, blonde girl from whatever, you know? I wonder how many people, you know, because it's so far.
Like you said, these people from when they're kids.
Yeah.
You know, like she's been a working
since a child.
Is it the situation that fucks the person up, or did that type of person are the type of people that get famous, but then like you can't sustain it for that long? You know what I mean? Like,
well, what if we
it's
take
the chicken or the egg?
It is the chicken or the egg. So we'd have to go, all right, let's look at 10 people. You know, we don't have to literally do it. I just mean like, let's think of 10 people who blew up and sold mad records. I mean, mad records, meaning you're set for life records.
Right.
Like her.
Yeah.
Right.
And go, all
like
right,
20 million records.
Right. Out of those
records.
10, let's name 10 of them. How many are batshit crazy and how many are chilling? Like, is Christina Aguilera cool? Like, as far as like, is she batshit crazy?
I mean, she was on like shows that seems fine. Yeah.
Okay. You know
she
what I
was
mean?
on like newer shows, like what's the one where they like spin in the chair?
Yeah, like The Voice or something. Right. So you're right. Yeah. Then like,
yeah, she was able to like maintain on there. She's a diva.
Yeah.
You know, Mariah Carey had her famous meltdown.
Right. And but she was someone I didn't view first two records. I'm not saying I was a fan or not a fan, but I certainly didn't view her as batshit. And by the late 90s, I was like, oh, this chick is fucking zapped.
You know, for me, with her, remember when they used to do like MTV Cribs?
Yeah.
And like the choices that this like mega star who transcends age groups, you know, like your grandma,
races,
Mariah
age
Carey.
Groups, everything.
You know, like Christmas. She's on Christmas specials.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they do, when you make it that Christmas special.
No,
yeah, but
bro,
she
you're
makes
right.
so money off that
It's the
song.
perfect word, bro. When you transcend.
No, but I mean, like Bill, what I'm saying is like ABC does a whole thing like a night with Mariah for Christmas.
Yeah, that's
You know
another
what I mean?
level.
3-hour special of her singing like
that's another level of
standards.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's insane. And then like she did her MTV Cribs, and it was like, I don't know if you guys remember this one. She had like the floor or a couple floors of like a like a building in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like with exit signs and shit, like inside her. And she's like in the bathtub.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, oh, she's the kind of person you cannot tell her like, hey, this is probably a bad choice. She's like, no, they'll love this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yes, ma'am. You know, we'll just do whatever you want, ma'am. We'll just, you know, so I think, like,
the same exact era of time she was on that TRL show.
Oh, and
fucking zapped. And I was like, so we can, I mean.
Look at Madonna they can't accept aging for the most part. They can't accept that their star has sort of dwindled. They, you know.
I mean, if we're counting them the same and going, they're just as bad shit, they just somehow kept the money, then
Yeah.
I think we're looking at a really slim sliver of the question Billy asked.
I
Is
think if
everyone
you're-
crazy? Is everyone crazy and you are a moth to a flame?
Right.
Or I know you guys aren't as heavy this as I am. So let me just say it and get it over with, and then we don't have to dwell on it because you two are gonna roll your eyes. I believe that when you reach those levels of shit, you had to do some dark shit to get there.
Okay,
And there is no coming back from it.
I don't fully unsubscribe to that line of like I've always said, like every billionaire has done some, like you don't just become a, like there is some soul selling along the way
I want to get successful enough where like I get presented with
the thing.
Yeah, and I have to like
here.
I would probably
Like
say
there's
yes.
When
there's a
dudes
baby on a
write
hoagie
me
roll
and they're like,
and
you
gotta-
switched up.
I
You're
think
Illuminati
I'd
now.
sell
I'm
the
like,
soul.
they didn't ask me. They didn't ask.
You're like, if they did,
I was asked to do some shit that was what I viewed as sellout slash corny slash that might have led to such stuff, you know.
Right.
Like I've told you both that, you know, I was up at Capitol and like the biggest thing on earth at the time was The Sopranos, and they're like, wait, we could get a real Italian instead of okay, so like the gimmick is gonna be like you're gonna be the Sopranos rapper. And I was like,
You're
yo,
like,
are you guys fucking crazy, bro?
Vinny Gabagool.
Yeah. And I was
You
like,
know what's weird? In 2026, there's a guy floating around IG who's actually doing that.
Didn't you shout him out, Vinny?
I mean, I
No,
know
not that guy. No,
Of like,
there's a guy that
like,
me and
that's
Vinny know.
corny.
That's yeah.
Got it.
No, but like, I mean, okay, I'm not accusing Mariah Carey of anything, but how old was she when she was married to Tommy Mottola? I mean, that's sort of.
I mean,
and
she was a monster pop star at 19.
right, and then she was like a kept, like, trophy
Yes.
for him,
Yes.
and her talent exceeded that. She was able to, like, you know, get divorced or whatever. You know what I mean? But I don't think like that was one of those marriages that's like on the same terms. You know what I mean? Like,
no. And,
how you
and,
doing?
and
We're gonna get married.
you said something there though, B, that's a huge factor. And Billy, this plays into what you said to your question of how many of them are crazy. How many of them are really, really talented?
Right.
When I tell you that the three of us can sing as good as Britney Spears, I'm not being funny. We
Yeah,
can
I
go
mean,
into Scott's and you can get a vocal
Right.
take that sounds like "Hit Me, Baby,
Right.
One More Time" or "Oops,
I think we
Did
should
It
attempt
Again,"
this the
or-
next time we're in there.
And
or-
apparently Billy can dance. So
yeah, and so can you. So boy band,
boy band.
You guys gonna
Drunkies?
push? Are we gonna push
You know,
this?
you know, well, you know what's
Drunkies?
funny? Well, what's funny? Well, I guess not
the
funny.
Drunky Three.
Yeah, she was sort of what? Like, speaking of Britney, like she was sort of like she was a Mouseketeer or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She
No,
was,
but I'm saying like you like Mariah Carey can blow. There's no denying.
there's no
it.
question.
Christina
Yeah, she's
Aguilera
got
can
a
blow. No.
5-octave voice. right.
Yes, it's factual.
I mean, is
that little-
Justin
that little
Bieber? Where do you
Ariana-
consider him?
The
right
Biebs
now?
can sing, man. The
But
Biebs
what
can
is he
sing, but he's
currently
in
like?
bad,
Yo, you
he's
can't
in
tell
bad
this,
shape.
You can't tell this Pazzi nothing about the Biebs.
Biebs got
All right.
joints. Biebs got joints, but I believe
But
that
his
Biebs.
age now, is he towing
But
the
let's
line
be
of
honest, though.
crazy?
Hang on. Can I just say one
No,
thing?
he's
I think
zapped.
they made him crazy.
He's yeah.
That
they
level
did
of
some,
fame at that young
Yeah.
ain't good for anybody.
Brendan's right, but
And if-
he was with Puff in them
Right.
videos. This isn't guesswork. You can look
Right.
them up. You know, I don't know what happened. There's some shit that if he was my son, everybody's dying. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
There's videos of with him, Puff, and Usher in a studio, in a hot tub, X, Y, and Z. Everybody's getting
Well,
packed up. If it's me,
And
Right.
again, the Puff stuff notwithstanding, because
Yeah.
you know we don't want to be getting held for libel.
yeah,
on this show.
yeah.
Too much too soon is a real thing.
Of course, it
Too
is.
much too soon is a real thing.
I
And
think I said from you
you
asking
have-
me.
you have to like. All right, you and I, three of us, always talk about the fun, bad stuff we did when we were like 14, 15. But we were hiding that from our parents.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like we were sneaking around.
Yeah.
When it's given to you before your brain is developed,
Right.
that's not it's not supposed to be that way. You're not prepared for that. Movies are rated R for a reason. Life is rated R for a reason. You know what I mean? Adults do adult things, and when you're led into that room, you're led into that teacher's lounge,
When that door opens, bro,
you can't close it.
the thing you sent me, it's like one of the most on point internet things ever. You sent me this thing that was like when you're second grade and you go to the 5th grade classroom with a note and they show you inside, Billy, and it's like a Dre video, but it's true, you know. It's
That's what it felt like.
It did feel like that. And look, I was a kid when shit started going real well for me, and I was way older than all these people we're talking about.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So there's a reason that, like, you know, you have to be 16 or 17 to drive a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the way your brain, how old was Beeps? 13, 14 years old?
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm not being
from,
funny when
like-
I say he was like getting sussed out as a talent at 11 and 12. I don't mean he had a record or a video.
No,
but
he was a street busker, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
and
that
his
what he was
mom
doing?
was like, you know, like pimping that, you know, whether
Yeah,
that
like
word
this
is
kid's got he
appropriate
could
or not.
like, I think he could like mimic. I don't think he took guitar lessons, right? He just picked up a guitar and could mimic like what was.
Yeah.
Discovered
Right.
at 13, reached widespread fame at 15. So
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's too. I personally think like
I
that.
don't think that's even a personal opinion at this point. It is too young.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just and
I
it's-
didn't know who he was, and I was doing Telemundo's morning show at NBC, and that we worked on the second floor of 49th Street between 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue. So the Today Show happens on 49th Street. That's where the plaza is.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm doing the Telemundo morning show. They're doing the Today Show in another room, right?
Mhm.
So you were further back to do the Telemundo Today Show. It was done in a different room. That window, it was hot that day, and I opened it up. And the director for Telemundo is like, "What is all that noise on your machine?" Because I talked to the guy in Hialeah in Florida while they're doing the show. And I'm like, "I don't know. Someone's on the plaza. Have you ever heard of this guy, Justin Bieber?" And the guy was like, "No." I couldn't get to my train after work that day because there was, and I was like, "Who the you know what I'm saying?" And they're like, he's the biggest pop star in the world. He had more people at this point. This is like 2010.
Mhm.
There was more people there to see him than Madonna, who was there the previous week.
Wow.
And like Madonna, like if she does a free, because Today's Show's free, guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You show up, you can get on the plaza, and
Right.
you
Yeah.
want to stand there at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, like a schmohawk or the fucking sign.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you knew me, I would talk to the director and like Vanessa. And for those of you that didn't listen to Knock Me Out the Box, that's my wife. She's a big Christina Aguilera fan. She would come in when people that she likes were on,
Yeah.
and I would holler at the director and be like, "Get her up front,"
Right.
and he would.
Hmm.
That was when my
I don't know if I
opinion.
approve of this.
What?
What about the poor guy that's been sitting out there
Right,
since
why
4
does she
in the
get
morning?
fronties?
He's
Why
just
does she
like
get fronties back?
squeezing
This-
up there.
No, you're not paying attention. She had to get there at 4 a.m.
Oh, you didn't say that.
He just made
Oh.
sure that
She got on camera.
Well, what kind of husband are you?
Yeah, why you put her? Why didn't you get her up there? You
Right.
she
fucking-
get mugged because they were. It's a whole.
Oh, it's a
we
whole-
could have a whole show about that.
Yeah.
Wait,
but that
real
was-
quick. So, is your Spanish gimmick? I'm learning like the origin stories of B. Like, as
Is
we
this
go.
is this
Is it
that
from
voice I do?
Telemundo
his
when you
villain
worked on
origin story
Telemundo?
from Telemundo?
It's 100% the Telemundo.
I never
voice.
put that together.
So we did Boxeo Telemundo and Viernes. And so
Mm.
Tudo Zabala cards we used to air, and that was the guy's voice. And Sabado and Telemundo, and you know what I mean. And that's where that came from. That's where that comes from.
Full
That's
circle
where
moment
my-
for me.
Full circle.
moment.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this episode's off the rails, kid.
Well,
It's
look,
all right.
look, the Biebs and Brittany will put you right off.
That's
the
all
fucking-
right.
did a rap show.
It's
about
we
Pete
somehow
Biebs.
went from the struggles and jail time of Fetty Wap, you know,
to Biebs to too much too soon.
to too
Buckle
much
up,
too
baby.
soon. And what and I look back at me and when money came into things, and I'm like, oh, I was too young because I still wowed it out.
Oh, I would have.
I still wowed it out for a long time. I mean, as this show tells the stories of the career, and we get up to, I was 29 years old on the Rock the Bell tour, still going to Govberg and being like, "Yo, let me see the Yacht Masters.
Right.
Let me get." I don't mean that in the sense of I couldn't afford it and I bought it. Just the recklessness of not like, you know how now, B, if me and you were gonna get something new, you'll hit me up. You'll go, "Do you like this? Which one do you like better?" There's like convo. I'm talking like my hair sticking up, one sock on, and texting cousin Frizz like, "Yo, I'm gonna come scoop you. We're going to go over Govberg."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like roll out the red carpet. You know.
Right.
And I'm the last time I was, but the one time I hit you and I was like, "Yeah, I just bought 2 watches."
Yeah.
That
you
was
have it
dumb.
on, don't you?
I have one on right now. Yeah.
The Bell and Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah. That here goes our watch podcast.
Yeah. He told us so, right? We'll do just
so.
watch the viewers just the tick down. It's like, what could we do that has that's more of a niche than boxing? I've got it. We'll just talk. And what would Billy hate more, listening to boxing talk or watching?
Bill, do you hate this episode so far?
No, I love it.
He's horny for this.
No,
taking the ride.
No, he's hotsy-totsy for this.
Well, listen, we had talked previously about like the show being like what we text about, and I think we're like on that kind of thread right now. Speaking of which, Vinny, you like sent me a text today about a dream you were having.
Yeah. I had. First off, I don't remember my dreams. I don't know if that has to do with REM. All 3 of us guys that are listening sleep like mutants. It's a mess over here on this show on Pop the Trunk, as far as us not getting enough sleep, or if we do get it, it's at weird times.
I only have nightmares. I don't have like good dreams. I only have horrible nightmares.
Well, I mean, look,
talk to somebody about that.
You should.
Talking to you two.
If you
I'm talking to the audience.
If you listen to anyone that knows anything about anything, you dream every night, whether you remember it or not, whether you remember the nightmare, the dream or not. I don't know would it mean that I'm not sleeping deep enough, Brendan, or that I'm too deep into REM that I'm not remembering it, that I don't.
I don't know, because speaking of, bring her up again, my wife never remembers dreams. She says, like, I know I was thinking about something, but
a few times a year. So I had this dream about my ex, like who I dug. It didn't end bad, or you know what I'm saying? She was mad cool. Yeah. And I hadn't thought about her in mad long, and won't again. And then I had this dream about being backstage, and I couldn't be. You know how your brain will make an amalgamation of things? Like if you're like, "Yo, I was at a party," but your brain will make it like Connecticut, but your place in Brooklyn with V, and then like the project.
Yes.
It was like an amalgamation of backstages, but all familiar ones, meaning cities. Look, home games are where you're from, right? And that's how you view it when you play. I'm fighting at home. I'm fighting at home. There's something that stretches and that happens like fighters you see. With someone like Danny Garcia, who spent most of his career in Brooklyn, even though he was a Philly kid. The Barclays became like his second home, because of the Puerto Rican community there, and it's 90 miles from Philly.
Right. Danny Garcia is a semi-retired fighter from Philadelphia who made his career in Brooklyn. But go ahead.
So, guys, of course, Philadelphia is my home. That's the home show. That's the one where my mother comes, stuff like that. Family. But New York is a home to me. It's going to be hectic, meaning the backstage, guys. That's what I mean when I'm leaping it, because I said I had a dream about a backstage. And I just said to Billy, just keep that note. I for some reason, man, I fucking woke up. When people say I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, right? This fucking dream got me so fucking angry because I started thinking about the fucking Philly show. The last one ever, and it started fucking sticking in my craw. And I think it's because I'm cranky because of the lack of sleep. But you know how shit gets you mad that wouldn't normally get you mad, B? But if you stub your toe, everything's getting you mad. And the girls acting nuts wouldn't maybe get you mad if it's just a normal day. But if you have a migraine, it does. Billy, same thing there. It's, my son's older than that now. So, but like, I started realizing, man, I don't want to say realizing, but I'm going back and thinking like, my man Mick, shout out Mick, who wrote me this morning and wrote, do you ever think about writing a book? And my big bro Gavin asked me about it before, and people have asked me about it before. And the low hanging fruit answer is I'm too fucking dumb to write a book. I guess if I could sit there with a writer that's better than me, you know, like Dante Ross or something, you know, someone who would could articulate it, there's probably the stories there. And then I was like, I think I'm good at telling stories, so it might maybe Billy and B could turn our podcast after years into the book by transcribing stories or something, you know, and that's called Pop the Trunk or something, and they're written down for people who didn't listen. But that he asked me that because we were talking about, you know, Blood Clot from the Cro-Mags writing a book and Harley from the Cro-Mags writing a book, and those two don't like each other, and they're like diss records, but in book form of each other, which I think led him to say, "Have you ever thought about that?" I said, "I'm too dumb to do that," and you know, so on and so forth. And I started going, I could do a book just called Backstage, and it could run the gamut of hilarity ensuing. It could run me getting hot because I was getting so mad at the fucking unmitigated gall that people have and the fucking sense of entitlement. It's so fucking crazy. And these people fucking walk. I'm gonna fucking start. I think you should. You guys wanted me to do something for content. I can't remember what it was. It was something where I'd be real miserable.
He's getting all riled up.
Is it going to a hockey game or something? You're going to film him because he's going to be.
Right.
I want you to fucking get all of the guest lists, Billy, of the last fucking 20 years. And I'm going to the job of everybody that's on them. And I'm just going to fucking carry on for 4 hours at their job.
This is a great idea.
I'm going to carry on. What's the fucking gimmick where they go, where Ben Affleck teaches Jay and Silent Bob what the internet is, and then they go to everyone to beat them up. I'm going to take that theory, but it's not about the internet. It's about people who have accosted me, violated every rule and law of Backstage. And I'm just going to, we're going to have it like a scroll, like a list that looks like, you know, like what the pearly gates. But I'm going to go to their fucking square job and just carry on like a fucking...
Do you remember when I didn't go backstage and then you came out on stage and yelled at me in the audience?
On the mic.
On the mic?
Yeah.
Bill, do you know about this?
Yeah, it is true.
I forgot what show it was, but I didn't...
Oh, you were being respectful?
He was.
Then he called you out for it?
I didn't want to bother him, so I just went to like I was running a little late, and they hadn't gotten out yet. I don't think the opener came out yet. So I was like, I don't want to bother him. He's probably got a lot going on. So I go to the bar, I hang out, I go down. You know, obviously, Vinny's one of my closest friends, so he took care of me. I was very grateful. I walked in, I was on the list. So like right before he's gonna go out, he goes, "Where the fuck are you?" And I was like, "I'm here." And you were like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "I'm in the audience." And you're like, and then it was just, ugh. And then he goes out and he goes, "Brendan, come up front." And it's like the middle of a show. And he's like, he's like, "Yo, guys, this is my friend Brendan. He's a bozo and didn't come backstage."
True.
And I was like, I didn't want to bother you. And I was like, all right, carry on. It was like
Were you blushing?
Like
Were you like
it was the
called
most,
out?
you know, like if the teacher makes you come up and write your name on a chalkboard, that's what Vinny did to me.
Right. You got
I think you made the crowd boo me.
I did. No, I definitely did. I have a backstage story that fucking B is reminding me of. This is brilliant. This is why this show works so well, because we can bounce off each other this way. I have a friend who in a particular area of art is very famous, okay? I'll say they're a writer, okay? That's vague enough. His childhood friend was eaten by Jeffrey and is portrayed in the Netflix John. And I got so sloshed that night. So every time I see this friend, right, because they're based in New York, even though they're from the area where Jeffrey Dahmer was from, meaning born. You know what I mean? They eventually
Milwaukee,
right, and then Chicago, and then made his way to New York to be a writer, and a very successful one. Okay, he tells me this like an obviously fucking disturbing, sad story. You know. that like his fucking homie, this like Cambodian kid, got eaten by Jeffy, right? So
Why are you laughing, Brendan?
when I would see him, I'd be like, "Yo, tell me the Jeffy story." Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's why, because he calls him Pay as a pet name for him.
Because Billy had these fucking glasses on tour. Speaking of tours, at Backstage, that looked like Dahmers, and we called them the Jeffies.
Yeah, they were the Jeffies.
Like those were your glasses that you
that he
wore?
needed to see.
Mm-hmm.
They needed to see. So busted.
He made a bold decision.
Killer B, busted. So each time I see this friend, I'm like, "Yo, tell me the Jeffy story." Like, you know, because I'm like wrapped up with Charlie and stuff like that. So I'm like, "This is Illmatic."
This is why I'm laughing.
Your man got eaten. This is Illmatic, and he's like having a fucking like ready to like twitch, like a Tourette's. He's like having flashbacks, but this is years ago, and it was always in environments that were like drinking going on. So I'm on go mode.
Okay.
And as you know, Brendan, I have that reaction to the mental health problems with OD on talking and having fun, so that this can be mushed in the back of my head. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
I need to have fun and keep the brain occupied, like the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
So I can tell when I sober up that, oh damn, man, I'm like, that's out of pocket. At very least, how
I think you're just saying what everybody does.
Yeah, but isn't that me though? And you gotta put that away.
It's that next day regret. Are you kidding me, dude? This is every time I drink.
Yeah, but it isn't though. No one's going to tell me about Jeffy eating long duck dong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think. So Jeffy goes to the bodega in the Netflix movie and comes out, and there's like a kid sitting on the curb of the bodega in the Netflix one, and that's my man who got eaten, who got packed up.
And you were asking.
So now this is like
fries with that.
This is like the third time that since I've seen him that I know the story. The night of the Gramercy, okay, in Manhattan. And I'm like, and he brings his wife, who is a pretty Latina girl from South America. So she's got an accent, you know what I mean? And a very demure way about her. And he, not only is he a writer and successful and kind of famous in that world, but he's very bright and part of like academia. And, you know, so the fact that he even likes me is wild. The fact we're friends is crazier. And he brought this dude with him who looked like he would have been in Laurel Canyon in the 60s and like hung out with the birds. He was like an old hippie, and I didn't know what he was doing. And that guy was wacky. And I'm like, back to me being like, Backstages are wild. If you do something wacky, I'm getting free passes for everything. If you do something wacky in my backstage, like you're like, oh, me and V didn't have a sitter, so we brought our dog. Like your dog's definitely drinking a beer that night or getting on stage or something. That's the price you pay.
Right.
So he brought like an old hippie who like just made a sandwich without asking me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
yeah.
So now my brain, after a few drinks, is like, old hippie made a sandwich. Nah. I'm like, yo, tell everyone the Jeffy story. And he's like, what? So he's trying to no-sell it, but he knows what I'm talking about. He's trying to no-sell it in hopes that I will read the room and go, oh, no. My bad. I was just playing. Everyone back to, you know. Now, Backstage is Ill Bill, Gorilla Nems, Poison Pen, Spit Gems, Matthew Ragazzino, name the name of New Yorkers, Destroy, Q Unique, Gore-Tex, Eclipse, name them all. You were there that night. You saw who was on stage. All the every Philly guy you know, B. All my Philly guys. So all the Philly guys and all the New York guys, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna say it's talking at the fucking top of my lungs, but everyone that fucking knows me knows how I talk. I don't have to yell. I just fuck.
Right.
It's a boom bap. I'm like, this fucking guy's best friend got eaten by Jeffy when they were. I don't even know that the fucking wife knew at this point. So this leads to other people being like, yo, your man's got eaten by, yo, that's crazy. So now it turns into a horror movie of,
Literally.
yes, of like, yo, your man really got packed up by Jeffy. He ate bull, and the delayed reaction of, oh, I fucked up, you know. What?
Oh, that you didn't realize now when everyone piled on?
I didn't have to wait till the next day regret, B. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it was
You're like you're mid-show and like this guy's crying.
Nah, I didn't even go.
remembering
I
his
didn't even
friend.
go on yet, Brendan. I'm gonna keep it a rack, bro. I'm gonna keep it a rack.
You had regret before. This is the same show that I didn't go backstage at?
Yes.
You
would have been there for
for
this.
it.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? Maybe it's good. Maybe that's a good thing I didn't do that.
Well, I'm glad your wife
go.
didn't see it. Because a first impression, you
Well,
know.
she is married to me.
Yeah, but I don't think you're capable of that.
No
You're
one,
capable of like, someone was ironing their shirt. I grabbed it from them and hit them over the head with it. I know she's seen stuff like that, but yo, your man got eaten by Jeffy. How about you tell this room full of fucking everyone in here's
Strangers?
got a case.
No,
Right,
I don't
right.
think I was at this show. I think I would have remembered this. But
If you
and
were, you were on TM or
Right.
merge duties.
Right.
You
I
definitely
could have been at the merch table.
I think Sleazy was there that
I
night.
clearly look. I know that
Shout out to
backstage.
Sleazy.
Yeah, shout out Sam the Sleazebag. I clearly remember very few times ever seeing the TM back there because it's a small room. It's a nice one, but it's small and it's very Philly, New York ball breaker atmosphere where someone like Jan would never want to be back there.
Right.
Like, you know how huge Union Transfer is, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Philly show venue, B. You know, it's like 1,500 people. There's satellite rooms. Like, I have a main room with a TV. You could watch
Right.
the show if you want. You could watch boxing if you want. You know, and you know, Mama sits back there on her throne, and there's couches. But then there's mad satellite rooms. Like, yo, don't smoke weed in my room. Go in that room. So Reef will go into that room, and then there's room for if you don't want the kid. You know, the younger kids with plans kids. They don't want this guy around this. Da 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 da. But yeah, I basically told my man, who's a respected writer, whose man got eaten by Jeffy, to like spill the beans to everybody.
Did he tell the story, or did he
tell
just
it?
be like, no, did he know?
No. So like once I really realized I fucked up and people started pressing him, I saved face to the best of my ability. I didn't save face to him being like, oh, this guy's a real jerk.
So in
What
other
a
words,
jerk.
you lit the fire,
Yeah.
threw gas on it,
Yeah.
then you put it out.
I don't know that. It
You
was
tried to put it
smoldering. The house didn't come down.
This guy's calling himself a fireman when he's the arsonist.
I am. I'm both. I didn't see you tried to say I put it out. I'm saying I stopped it from being like move. It didn't take out all of the block. It took out like, you know, when someone's like, yo, this is crazy. My shit lit on fire and my whole kitchen's fucked up. We got to move out for a couple weeks.
Right.
Like that's what happened. Like the kitchen burnt down because of like grease, you know, a grease fire.
So as a backstage host, let's say discussing cannibalism of a guy's friend who gets eaten.
Yeah, by the most infamous serial killer after Manson, would
and
we
now
say?
this
What's
was-
it called?
His friend shouldn't have ate a sandwich.
Come
on.
So
Agreed. What does it
let me
go?
ask
Should have asked. Nice.
Does it go
Wait, hang on, hang on.
Charlie? Does it go Charlie?
Can I ask a question?
Of
Can I ask
course.
a question?
Please.
Now, knowing in your head that his friend was eaten,
Yeah.
was that memory triggered by someone eating that he brought in, and you were like, food, sandwich, your buddy, Dahmer?
No.
And then
it
you were
was-
like,
no, I have.
I'm teasing, of course, I'm teasing.
I know, but I'm still
Your
answering.
word association was
I understand, but yeah, if it was a fleshy piece of cold cut, maybe that would have sent it off, and the guy looked happy about it, like as Jeffy did. No, I have a fucking trigger of entitlement. You know that everyone knows that I'm too nice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's haunted me. It also makes me feel happy that I'm like
Sure.
that as a person. I find I see rewards from God from generosity and from helping people out. I also see all the bad things that come with it. You know what I mean? Often. But entitlement I can't get by. I'll set it on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And this in my brain, this is why drugs and alcohol are terrible. You know, this is why I don't do anything anymore. I don't misbehave, none of that for years. But it will cloud your judgment to where I was like, this guy eating a sandwich is allowing me unprovoked
Right.
to make my homie tell the tale of his man's getting cannibalized.
What are the no-nos as a guest in the backstage area? What are the basic no-nos that maybe some of our listeners, if they are privy to a backstage pass or if they have a friend who's a recording artist, and
It would be shocking to tell you that, really? Like, if we're being real, I'm going to say nobody listens to this, okay? Because it's an industry of lowlives, you know? Gross people. Really, you shouldn't treat it no different than if you were like, Vin, come over for the fights, you and Billy.
Right,
I
like
wouldn't
the
do nothing
house.
in no one's backstage that I wouldn't do at your crib.
It's a matter of respect, really. I don't
But
even
I
think
mean,
there's rules. It's
I
just
look
being
over and the
respectful.
blunts are being lit, and they don't even say to me, and I'm talking people I know. I'm not talking strangers.
right.
People don't even go, does this bother you? Or can I say, bro, I hate smoke. I can't have it around me before I perform. Forget cigarettes. I don't like blunt smoke. I don't really like nothing around me, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just light them right up. You know what I'm saying?
Open a cooler that's like sitting next to us and grab a beer, and we don't even know who you are.
Okay, so now how do you parse that out? Like now, for instance, like if I'm now Vin, someone will call you and say, "Hey, can like say you didn't know me."
Yeah.
So Billy says, "Hey, can my friend Brendan get on the list?" And you go, "All right, is he okay?" And he says, "Yeah," but then he doesn't realize
I probably
Brendo drank a 12
I
pack
probably if it was that, I go, Billy, I don't know him. No, it's my yeah, you can put him on the list, but he ain't coming back here. You can go out there and hang out with him.
Right.
There's certain
so
there
how
is
do-
like a
how do-
backstage area usually.
See,
where
you're
it's
about
like,
to open up the can of worms, and I'm like, should I go out that one, or is it a whole other episode? How do these people get back? In the Philly one, people who were flat out told leading up to it, I don't care how close you are to me,
Right.
that we are allotted this amount. The show's already sold out. The whole tour's already sold out. These people are going out of their way. The Union Transfer, the Philly venue, loves us. Yo,
Sure.
giving 50 backstage passes is too much.
yeah,
Right.
We're going to give you guys 100 because of this situation.
Right.
You're far, far too kind. Thank you so much. With the 100, before the opening act, I looked over and told people that weren't allowed to come back there. They either someone who was allowed backstage let them in, so that person's a fucking low life and pack them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they fucking waited around the door because you have to punch a code in.
Okay.
So either way, you snuck in. And
Right.
and none of the people that did it came up to me and said anything.
They just
They
stood
didn't
there
even
and
have the decency to sneak in, hope I was in a good mood, and go, it's been a great run for you, man. I can't believe this is the final show. Congrats. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Now,
there's certain backstages like that that's so big that like they're just trying to hang out and be a part of the scene, and they're not even necessarily, like Vinny said, like going in there to like
So they're not
say
even
what's
like
up.
real fans. You don't think they're just like
No.
I'm-
No. You're using the word fans. No.
Right.
Now you're getting into people that are like, yo, you're my man's cousin, and you think you're inner circle, but I don't.
Right.
Why do you need to be back here?
right?
And I'll tell you that people listening to this, right? Why do you need to be back there? Why, I don't understand. I still don't. Jan would say it to me. Jan didn't go on this tour, right? Jan was at Philly because Jan and I built this together. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he was only in Philadelphia. He wasn't in New York, right? You didn't meet Jan in New York. You met Jan at the fights, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't. He didn't come to New York.
Yeah. So, okay. What do people think is going on back there versus let's tell them what there is? I think that's its own
Well, it's our own
episode.
personal clout thing, really, and we're kind of lucky that social media was at what it was, even up to the most recent shows. I think in certain ways, but like, it's that culture of like, look where I am. I'm going to post all these pictures or film myself in this.
That's
space.
exactly what it is. It's
making myself feel bigger and better.
I'm on the other side of the velvet rope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm more
Yeah.
important than the people out there.
Exactly.
And
Even if it's unwarranted
Even
or,
if it's
unmerited.
I think I can make my mind understand that to a degree until I go, yo, you're 45, B, with kids. Like,
Right.
why is this is a flex still? To who and for what?
I mean,
Never find that answer.
Is it like I think for some people, yes, it's a flex. And I think for other people, it's the curiosity of like, I want to see what happens.
What if
back
it's
there.
your 10th time being there?
Oh,
What
well,
if this is
then-
the 10th time you've stepped on my toes and violated me? Why are you here? Are you rocking? No. I don't. What?
free sandwiches and beer?
Yeah, and booze,
Right.
And
Looking
this is
for
a
free.
party. But this is a party.
Well, I
That's
always
why
say
we're
this,
gonna
people
film
will,
me
people
going to
will
people's
steal
jobs.
free. Huh? I'm sorry.
We're going to fucking do a fucking
You're
segment
gonna-
on this show where Pazzy packs you up, and
You're
we're
gonna show
going
up to
to
people's
fucking
jobs.
drive. You work
Perfect
at a fucking. Do you work at a fucking car dealership? Do you work at Holman Ford in Jersey? I'm
Oh
gonna
my
fucking go
God.
there
Go in
while
the
you're
office.
selling a car.
Just
I'm
hop
gonna
in the driver's seat.
No,
Beep, beep,
I'm
beep,
gonna
beep.
fucking start rapping, carrying on. I'm gonna have a 40 of fucking St. Ides, something I would have done when
We'll
they're
rip
trying to
heaters
work.
in their office.
Do what?
We'll rip heaters in the office.
Yeah. I don't. Look. There's also like there's also things though that see like Boston's another place, as New York, as is LA. Like, yo, so Vinny Pazien's a 5-time champion, right? Vinny goes, he's in Cranston, Rhode Island. He goes, you doing Rhode Island on this tour? I go, no, we're going Connecticut to Boston. What would you rather come to? You know? He's like,
Yeah.
I love Boston. Vinny comes to the Boston show. All right. He's on the list. I say, I make sure, yo, my guy will come get you so you don't got to deal with it. You know, now this is enough years ago where Billy, look how old Vinny Pazienza is right now. I want to say Vinny's 62 years old.
Okay.
This is the first time I bring Sean on tour. Sean Price. Okay.
Mhm.
63.
63. So let's say 20 years ago, 43 years old, B. If he's not still fighting, he's not far removed.
Not far off, right?
And
okay.
it's like, you don't have to tell anybody. I don't have to tell you. And Billy
Right.
now knows how big a deal Vinny, was and is on the East Coast with a boxing crowd, So I'm like, Vin, you could either come around the back. You know what I mean? He's like, I'll be with these chicks and a couple guy friends. He's fucking Vinny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no problem, bro. Whatever. I got you.
He's
You're
the
like,
best.
this guy's like my fucking hero. One of the fucking people, he goes, I'm making this movie. I'm bringing the kid that's playing with me. We're doing like this cop movie, but it's like a buddy film. I go, yeah. Yeah, what's mine is yours, man. I got you. I come in and you guys introducing me. It's a couple nice young ladies, and Italian fella that may or may not be a part of a thing. And he goes, my friend Kerry. And I'm fucking looking around. I don't fucking, I go, it's a guy or a
Okay.
girl. Where's this fucking guy at? And I hear this little voice like, hey, and I look down and it's a midget smaller than this mini me. And he's dressed like fucking fist pumping. Like he's got like a
Yeah.
Pauly D
Right.
and the little gimmick shirt and the little gimmick jeans.
And Bill, you were there?
No, I wish.
Oh.
So they're in the backstage. Now everybody is doing something in the venue, but me, his now wife, who was just his girlfriend at the time, who was going to Harvard or Yale, Billy?
I'm not sure.
Paz?
No. Jan's wife was going to
Oh,
Yale,
I
so
thought you were
she
talking about
was
Vinny's
there.
wife. Yeah, I think it was.
Vinny wasn't
Yale.
married. Vinny's not married. She was going to Yale Law School. So she's like, I'll meet you guys in Boston. I never saw Vinny rock. So Sean, Rusty Jooks, Drew, all the boot camp guys are out handling something, say like setting up the merch booth, right?
Right.
But the club's open and it's already packed, but it's doors. Jan's handling money or something, opening acts are on. Everyone's doing something, right? Except me, and I'm keeping Hannah occupied as best I can, you know what I mean? Backstage. Vinny leaves to go to the bar, and I'm like, oh, he'll be right back. But he leaves me with the midget, and I'm like, yo, I don't even know. Do I like talk to the midget the same way? Is there etiquette here? Do I, like how
Did
do
you
I
bring him out with you?
How do I handle this? He gets brought out all right.
Oh boy.
So I'm like, Hannah, do you want a drink? I have a bottle of Goose and a million mixers, ice, glasses. You know what I'm saying? You've been to Middle East, right? Yeah, it's like I got all the accoutrement, right?
There you go.
She goes, oh, no, I couldn't drink that. Is there any wine or anything around? So, like, at some point, Jan walks by to check, it's his future wife, but serious girlfriend. Babe, you good? Vin, you good? You got everything you need? I was like, yeah, just grab, like, some wine or something, maybe one of Vinny's girls, Vinny will want some, too, but Hannah just wants, you know what I mean? So, of course, they give us a bottle, And this little fella, I'm like, yo, do you want a drink? Now, he is as big or smaller than Mini-Me, right? But in the getup, right? In the deal, in the gimmick, So I make him a drink in a solo cup, but it's like...
Does he hold it with two hands?
A little bit. So he's like...
I've had Vinny's drinks. He's got a heavy hand.
I'm told I have a heavy hand. I'm not. I can't confirm or deny.
Okay.
I don't engage in any of that anymore. So certainly, I made him a normal drink. You know what I mean? Now, in a crew of ball breakers, and over 2 decades, the drink has, the story has now gone that, I killed a midget or whatever it is. I gave the little fella a fucking drink because I don't want to fucking give him a midget drink and make that a thing. Like,
you put it in a thimble for him?
Right. Like, here's a shot glass with 1 cube.
Right.
So I'm trying to be like, I don't want you to think that I'm fixated because you're a midget.
Gotcha.
On your, let's say, lack of, he was, his deficiency of height. So I'm like, whatever. I'm on like my second drink. I had eaten dinner, so that, you know how that is. That soaks up your first cup. I'm chilling. Hannah's doing nothing with her drink. It was a social thing, or maybe a couple sips.
Sure.
And I hear like, and I look over, and so you go up steps to get onto the stage at the Middle East. Then to the left of the stage is a door that's the backstage, that's to the left of the stage. And that goes down like 2 or 3 steps. He's on the bottom one, trying to crawl up the 2 mini steps.
He's stuck?
He's stuck, and Paz still hasn't come back. It's still just me, Hannah, and the midget.
Oh my gosh.
And the only company we're ever getting is someone coming in and being like, holy shit, there's a midget, and breaking north. So I'm like, yo, this is whack. No one's like, you know, what did you say when there's an ugly girl? Like, oh, jump on the grenade, you know, a wingman.
Yeah.
So like, yo, y'all ain't gonna wham me with a midget? Like, yo, pack all y'all up friendship-wise. I know Billy with a wingman.
I was going to say,
how'd
I
you,
would have.
how'd you get him out of there? Like a bucket and a rope?
So I'm like, yo, we got to pack this midget up because this midget's not ruining my night, and he's not ruining, like, my experience in one of my favorite cities. I need to do my pre-show rituals, and I'm not able to do them. Look, he ain't got to be packed up, but I ain't watching him. Where's Vinny? Where are these girls? And where's the other guy?
So what'd you do? You punted him out of there?
Please tell me you like picked him up like a child to get him up the steps.
Did you put him in a
like
backpack
under his
with his
armpits?
head sticking out?
I'm looking at
Put him in a little
I'm looking
backpack
at
with
Hannah like, yo, I mean, now, before he was going, he starts hitting on Jan's at the time girlfriend / wife. And I quite enjoyed that, you know, because he was
You let
like,
that play out.
Yeah, I did, because he's full court pressing her, which I quite enjoyed because this little fella had more moxie than I ever had.
Sure.
I mean, he had more darts for her than I ever had for any girl. Like, he had, you know, like, you know, would you like me to light your cigarette? I mean, the girl never smoked a cigarette in her life. I'm just saying, like, whatever you would say, like, can I top you
sign?
off, or what's your sign, or whatever it was? I'm like, yo, this guy's illmatic. So the guy, Vinny doesn't return, but the guy with him comes in. I don't know why, but he sees
This guy's still at the bottom of these stairs?
Yeah, he's like trying to get
left
up the
him there.
first one.
That's what I'm saying.
You give him a boost.
Well, what did you want me to do?
You got to give him a
I
boost.
told you, a bucket and a rope. You know what I mean?
If I stand him up and he runs wild, that's the stage right there.
I mean, that's not.
That's
it.
Part of the show.
Look, like, so I don't want. So Sean Price's like first tour story. Sean had done mad shows with me, but never, yo, come on tour with me. I want you to come on tour with me to promote your record. You know, Monkey Blues.
Right.
I don't want a midget running out on his set. And God forbid he throws up, because if he can't get up one step, this little fella's not in good shape.
I imagine the great Sean Price would have really appreciated it.
He would have. Yeah, look, if we're really gonna talk about it, I mean, the nicknames we had for each other and shit. Right. I called him the walrus. He called me the manatee. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he would call me King N-word in the lobbies of hotels with mad white people around.
There you go.
Like, yo, abort. Vinnie Paz, King, and then the N-word. Man, I'm like, yo, yeah. So the guy comes in and is like, look, I'm just going to be honest. I don't even know how I said this, but this guy wasn't surprised enough for my liking. Like, this might have happened, like, maybe.
Right.
It happened more than one. This wasn't the first time this shit happened. Let's just start there, all right? Whatever amount of times you guys want to go to. He starts to
wherever
pack.
we take this little guy places.
He starts to pack Midgie up, both literally and figuratively.
Like, grabs him?
Yeah, but like a baby. Like,
he's used to it.
Yeah, he looked a little bit used to this packing up deal.
Like a mama lion picks up the cub. Like, did he like just grab his back of his shirt?
Nah, that's like a little rough. Like, more
gentle.
More like this thing.
He held like a cradle, like a little like.
Yeah,
like,
what's that thing called where you tuck the baby in and wrap them mad tight? It's like
swaddle.
It was like a
he
swaddle.
Swaddled him.
It's like he took one of my white towels.
This is darker than the first story, by the way.
he took one of my white towels and like swaddled him. But
This is an episode.
he's standing at the door where it separates the backstage to the crowd. But if you know, like the whole crowd can't see it, but maybe a third to 2/3 of the crowd. And now it's that time, B, where it's in between sets, but the DJ's playing that fly shit. And now it's not early, but it ain't late. And everyone's got a little in them. You know what I'm saying? And it's a weekend night in Boston. You know?
Right. So people have been getting it in.
I'm going to be this. I might be going out on a line here. Okay. It might have been St. Patrick's Day weekend in Boston. Okay.
Tomorrow,
it might have been.
As we record this, it's
It might have been. Enough of the crowd sees this,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Wait, they see this. So now the
guy.
crowd.
Guy's talking to me like, I gotta find Vinny. Where's Vinny? I'm like, I thought you were with him. He's like, we were with the broads at the bar, and that. I'm like, my guy, I don't know what to tell you. I ain't kicking you out, but get control of the situation with this little fella. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's no problem. But he's.
Can the crowd see this guy struggling up and down
They
the stairs?
see him doing this. I mean, they're playing like the DJ's like spinning Gangstar, and they're going to the bar in between sets, and now people are dancing, and now there's still errors with shorties to be there, and it's absolutely a weekend in Boston and nice out. I think it was because we would always play because of my schedule, Brandon. I always want to play in the spring or the fall because I hate the heat.
Right.
So it was absolutely, I played Boston, I'm not going to say a couple, many times in March. Many,
Right.
And many in the fall because I love that city in the fall. So some of the crowd can see this guy with a swaddled midget and hands moving, but they can't see me because I'm down in the backstage. They just see arms are flailing and two little ones moving. And the DJ's playing that fly shit. I think George was spinning. If not Braun, and that's the Blade Runners, and they're two of the illest you can have in the world, let alone in the city,
Right.
And you hear it very loud backstage, where if the door's open, you can't even talk to the person next to you. So I'm screaming over a guy that's screaming over a midget with his problems. And Vinny's being Vinny. This is a 5-time world champion, not far removed from a big payday in his career. If he, he still might have fought. I think Eric Luca was his last fight. He might have not been that far removed from when he got the 50th win and Duran walked him out. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what year that was. Billy can look it up while I'm telling you. So I still don't know what's going on, B. And I'm like, all right, get the little fella. Just get it situated. It's early in the night. Now, I'm thinking this, B. I know that I probably gave him alcohol poisoning, but I'm like, let the little fella yak, get him some water, and what's that called in the movie? Rally, rally.
Right.
Let him go throw up. I was a little heavy-handed. That was my bad. I wasn't thinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think I start hearing rumbles on beat of midget. But I'm like, nah, I'm bugging. I'm not inebriated and I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not a drug user, but I think it's like, look, man, I'm hotsy-totsy. I'm in one of my favorite cities on earth. I think my brain is getting to me and I'm horny for the night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel incredible that I got Sean out with me and he's one of my favorite people and one of my favorite rappers. And I've been able to, pay it forward to someone, you know what I mean? That means a lot to me as an artist and person. So I think maybe all that's making me think I'm hearing little rumblings of midget. So I get up, but I just get up to walk closer to like the bottom of those 3 steps, but people can't see me. And now I'm hearing midget as clear as day. So I'd say 400 of the 600-700 people start saying midget. Now, this guy says whatever he says to me, but I can't hear him. And takes the midget and starts walking. I'm going to say...
He's holding him?
Yes. He starts going outwards. But I don't know what that means, B, because it could mean out. It could mean to the bar. You guys both know the Vin. We're at the front, you know what I mean? And he's going towards the back. I don't know what that means. Is that I'm out of here? Where are you going to go? Where's Vin? Not me, Vin. Where's the Vinny, the real Vinny? The 5-time, where is he? You know what I mean? Did he think he was walking in and I was going right on stage? Maybe, probably. You know what I mean? He's probably like, I don't really care about none of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 40-some-year-old, Italian guy who, likes what I like. And I'm here for my little brother to show, So he probably went with 3 girls to some bar on whatever, you know what I mean? On the strip. Because it's on the strip, the Middle East, it's in Boston. So the more he walks along the side of the stage where the crowd can't get to you, there's a walkway, but you're walking the entirety of the club. With each step, more of the club sees the midget and more of that. Now that they're turned towards him, and all you hear is drums and midget, both fists up. Midget.
Now is he reacting to this?
The midget?
Both of the midget, master blaster.
The guy, I think the guy's like, what the fuck? I think the guy thinks he was slipped acid at the bar because he's half drunk and he's carrying a midget, and they're chanting midget at him with a sold out venue, in a major city. I don't think
this is literally Thunderdome. This could be the plot.
And I'm like, yo, someone's gonna die tonight. Someone's gonna die tonight.
You're inciting a riot.
I am, because Billy, when it's wild early that it's B, you know this, bro. You've been going to shows since you're a kid. 30
and then the later you hang around.
Right. So I'm like, these kids are going to be, Sean hadn't gone on yet. It was like, say, a local act, then like someone from the crew, then like Outer Space, then Sean, then us. You know what I mean? It like wasn't even out of space yet. So now like my head is, I'm poking my head out, no Diddy, out of the backstage door because no one cares about me. The whole entire place is chanting midget, right? And the guy disappears, then goes up the stairs, which at the Middle East, you have to go up to go out, to go at street level, because the upstairs at the Middle East is street level. The big venue is downstairs. I see him go up, so I'm like, well, at very least, he's taking him outside. So the little, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Never see that guy, the midget, Vinny, or the girls again that night, and I don't hear from Vinny for like 10 days.
Was there any at the end of the 10 days? Was like, oh yeah, it's my midget friend had a blast, and his
a little bit. Like we had a blast.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
No idea.
No.
To this day?
No.
And you never saw the midget again?
No.
Little fella, if you're listening.
And I know his full name, too.
Mail us that.
You know the midget's full name?
Yes, and I've looked it up to see what's the word, and I can't find anything.
Hope he's all right. I
mean, what year was this?
It had to be 20 years ago. Monkey Bars.
It was,
out, right?
Yeah. Monkey Bars, Servants in Heaven-ish. That's 05, 06.
I think the goal for this show going forward is to locate the little fella, get him on here, okay, and ask him what he was thinking, what he remembers. So again, now going back to full circle, is this a no to do in your backstage?
Don't bring a midget and leave him in with.
I think,
or don't bring a midget that upstages my entire show.
Could be the.
I think if you're gonna bring someone that's going to be a scene, you need to understand. It's like bringing your crazy friend. You can bring blank, but like I ain't fucking watching that motherfucker.
You got it.
All
Yeah,
night.
You rep for it.
And if I even see the twinkle in his eye, I'm packing him up. I'm not even giving.
It's like
you
bringing
time.
Rich to Atlantic City.
Yeah,
when you get
there you
VIP and he passes out.
There
and
you go.
You have to send him back to his room.
That falls on you being your fault.
Right.
That's my fault.
Yes. If you bring him backstage, it is.
Yeah. No, of course. I was
That's
mortified, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, why don't you go back to the room?"
Like your wife is the sweetest in the world. If she was a menace, like that's your job in Brooklyn to
she's like,
handle that.
why did you bring me here?
Right. But if
Imagine
she
if
like,
was that.
says, I hate
her
you.
mascara's all running and
Yeah,
shit.
my daughters heard your music and they stabbed each other or like flips on me. Like, that's on you. I'm not. This goes back to like, yo,
hang on. I like that.
This is my job. I don't understand the disconnect. Where, look, I told you, Billy, someone we've known for a very long time who may or may not sell drugs, up until seeing a show in like the late, not early, late 2000s, sold out, Brendan, thought I like went to bars and rapped karaoke. Like that's how zapped
That's
this
right.
person
Yeah.
is.
Well, I mean, I think that people think that you only like work for the duration of
What they see.
So the show. So like, all right. So not worrying about your merch table, not worrying about if you're getting paid by the promoter, not worrying about this, not worrying about that, getting there, being in a van, being there ahead of time, making sure the openers are there, making sure that all this stuff is falling on you.
Okay, but let's take all that and say all that is very logical, okay? But let's just give them some leeway and say, yo, they're just squares, they don't see that. Right. You don't think I need some fucking time by myself? All you have to ask somebody is, what if you were going up on that stage in an hour in front of 1,500 people?
So I'm saying,
how would you feel right now? Do you know what everyone in that room is? Oh my God, I'd be throwing up. So what makes you think I want to
talk to you? I got to psych
myself
myself
up. There were
up.
people that weren't on, that were told flat out, right? That were like, crew, yo, you got to buy tickets, man. It's my last show. You know what I'm saying? Just like, don't make this a thing on me. That didn't come because they weren't on the guest list and passed. If that doesn't tell you someone's a piece of garbage and that saying, oh, if you're not there for the good times, you're not there for the best. So you're only my guy if you're back here in the backstage.
If you're getting something out of this.
Out of me.
Yeah.
And
then what do they contribute to your career other than showing up for free? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's funny because it's not even a contribution. They're a detriment.
Right.
They'll do something like, there's one bottle of alcohol left in Philly. They'll drop it and break it so that no one there can have that. So it's you didn't just come here, and you don't need to be here by any calculable measure. You broke the only bottle of alcohol and you stepped on the only blunt that was in the backstage for people who do smoke.
You're a walking, talking party foul.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a party, it's your job.
Correct. Which again is like, I think,
because people go there to celebrate a show and go see, but they don't realize that the person performing the show, now do they do is working to ensure your entertainment. That's what the definition of an entertainer is. Do people do this at like the ballet? You know what I mean? Like where it's not a sort of party culture or dance culture or music culture, right? It's the ballet. So like their favorite ballerina, do they walk back there like, oh, how you doing?
I think they go back and do that after. I think in that world, theater.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, so is there other performing
No,
arts?
I know you're making light of it, making a joke, but I'm saying, I'm trying
not.
to.
What I'm saying is, do people do this to other people in other areas of performing arts? It's a serious question.
Yeah, I think, but it's varying degrees. I think I think they're just as annoying with, can you get me tickets?
Right.
I think they're just as annoying with.
Then that's you're answering
definitely,
my question.
Absolutely. No, 100. I know that factually. Whether it's comedians, dancers.
I know comedians get annoyed by it. You know, like who's in their green room and stuff.
Yeah. Everything, obviously, this goes without saying. In what I do and what comedians do is in your voice. People are lighting up cigarettes, cigars, blunts. No one's asking.
Right. Does this bother you?
Yeah. My barber lights up a blunt without asking anyone in a venue you can't smoke. There's not even an area. You can get to the outside there without going out amongst the crowd. And I was like, who's smoking? And Planet was like, blank. And it was my barber. You know, who, you know what I'm saying?
And then that's a tough one because it's like I don't want him to zeke my shit up next time I get a haircut.
Look, man, there's all the biggest thing with this last tour was if I'm standing on business and this is my last shit, I'm not flipping on anyone. I'm just
Right.
keeping mental notes of who played oh, I'm not coming then if I can't be backstage. Or
Right.
I watched that dude eat every fucking there were 15 pizzas. I watched those 3 dudes eat 8 of them. I watched, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Oh, there were seltzers here for my mother because my mom loves seltzer water. I watched those, you know what I mean? I watched that dude's girlfriend drink all my mom's seltzers without ever,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I literally did that. I'm just saying
No,
I
right.
wasn't going to bark on no one
They just-
or
they
let
just-
them ruin my final shit.
Right.
If this was,
ate through your rider. In other
yeah,
words.
just went through my rider. If this was just any other tour, I would have flipped. But you could argue if this was any other tour, it probably wouldn't have been as packed. Yeah,
Right.
in Philly, instead of 100, there would have been 50, which, by the way, is just as annoying, but it is half. It's always going to be annoying. Jan says to me during the week, you ready? He doesn't mean, am I ready to perform? Am I ready to kill it? Are you ready for this shit show that this is about to be?
Right.
You're going to start getting texts from the kid in 2nd grade that doesn't, you know what I mean? You haven't talked to. You're going to, you know, the girl from South Philly you haven't talked to in 30 years that's going to say, oh, me and my husband want to come, you know, and you go, right.
Yeah, there's tickets for
Go
sale.
go to Ticketfly or whatever, you know, whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
You do not, I don't know what to tell you, you know, and that doesn't become enough. And
Well, it's like if you say
one
this
person
wasn't
lied, someone that I love in the graffiti scene, I love, and I don't see them a lot. Someone was like, I'm bringing blank. So I put them on +1 for that person. They didn't bring him and they brought someone I didn't know. Not they didn't bring him, but they brought someone else I loved. And I went, oh shit, you didn't bring blank, but you brought, but Joe's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, he like introduced me to someone, like some Spanish kid I never met in my life. And I was like, yo, my guy, where the fuck is blank? And like, well, who is this? And why is he here? And then I checked myself. I was like, you know what, bro?
Right.
Don't worry about it. He's like, I was like, nah. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. I went and made myself a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And parlayed. And at one point just watched. And it was very much like out of, you know, it was very much a Sonny from Bronx Tale speech he was giving C. Like, see these people, like these people, you know, the fear of respect speech, like that type of, it was very much like, not fear of respect, but like, how many of these people love me here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had this moment. It wasn't a night. It did not ruin my night. But there was a moment between having a few drinks and feeling good, you know what I mean? And getting into that mode where I was cranky from the food being late, you know, but not quite, you know what I mean? That little period of time where I was peeping game and my phone's still going off and ringing and, you know, which is another violation. Like, bro, leave me alone. Like, don't hit this phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody, unless you have my last name, you know?
Yeah.
Like, don't hit this phone. You know who to hit. Hit Pablo. Right. It would have been Billy. Billy had COVID. Hit Pablo or Jan. They're in that mode.
COVID Billy.
And, you know, and Pablo held it down, and so did Jan, you know, and dealt with all the nonsense.
I should have came there and gave them all COVID backstage.
Yeah. They, you know, that was the other thing of like Jan and then Jan and Pablo walking up to me like, oh, yeah, Blank's over there. Like, literally, they snuck in. I'm like, this is, I didn't even know there were levels of disrespect like that, you know?
Right.
I didn't know they existed. In terms of people that say they love you, I don't mean on the street, you know what I mean? There's fucking murderers. There's people who will rob you. They'll stick your moms, you know what I mean? No Diddy. They're stick-up kids. I mean, like, the unmitigated gall to sneak back here and you know me and we're told, yo, we were allotted this amount. You don't need to be back here. I don't need people back here. You feel like you need to be back here because your man's is here, or we used to be on 2nd Street together, or, you know, in Alney, when, you know, at Papa Andy's house, or you used to be in South Philly when Nostra was rhyming, and I know you from back then. You know what I'm saying? from the 90s, or you know Musa from West Philly, and I know you from Musa's block. I'm 5'6" from 93. You know, when we were hoping we would get signed. So now you didn't buy tickets to any of my shows in the 30 years in between there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The times you did hit me up was for something. Yo, Paz, you like put me on? Could I like, you know what I mean? Like send you something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, you're cool. You're not.
Well, it's like if you
say
owned a
this to y'all.
restaurant and someone and you like get, you know, they came in to eat, but because they know you and they know you own the restaurant, they expect to get a free meal.
Let me just ask y'all this: you're not embarrassed?
Right.
Forget me being uncomfortable.
Oh no, it's embarrassing.
There's people who don't feel that way.
Yo,
no, I know there's plenty of people who don't feel that
They
way.
have no what? Shame.
No shame.
You have no. There were people that were told by other people, nah, you can't come back there. That were back there.
Yeah.
So when you have that level, that your shame knows no bounds to that level. There's nothing I can say to shame you. So why am I going to get upset?
No.
Oh.
Well, it's good you had that, at least that quick self-reflection point, and didn't let it ruin your night. I think that that's a big.
I'd say it was like the length it takes you to drink like an adult beverage. You know, it wasn't no hour in the corner soaking, but it wasn't 90 seconds either.
Right.
I was like the door in unit transfer that goes out back, Billy, not out the side where you park, that goes out to the back alley.
Yes.
I was like in that doorway.
Right.
It was March. You know what I mean? So it was like the weather was kind of breaking. So it was like cool, babe, you know, like a nice, cool, like how it is supposed to be in the fall and the spring, except we don't have seasons anymore on the East Coast. But it happened to be. Like it was probably 65 and sunny in the day. You know what I mean? It was probably 50 degrees. I had on like a low, you know what I mean? Some fly low shit with my hoodie up. And I just stood there and I'm like, who is going to check me when this is over?
Yeah, yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. Nobody, by the way, no one that I'm talking about has said the word hello to me since that show.
Since that night. Yeah.
Right.
Wallah, I swear to God. Wallahi, bro, on God. Wallah. Not one of the people that I'm like, obviously, there were 20 or 30 people that go under this. I'm just thinking of a few specifically. You know what I mean? Someone's locked up and they're never getting out. So I don't count them because they always checked in on me. But some of these people haven't said hello. How are you? How have you been? You good? How's your mom? How's Marciano?
Yeah, I bet you if you did another show, they'd be right there, though.
Well, that's the thing. You know, there's this, isn't there always this dark, morbid curiosity that lives in the sickness of artists to see a variety of things? Do I still have it? Could I still kill it? You know, will people still show? I forget if I still have it. Will people still show up? Would the show still be lit? But I'm so sick. I go, no, I want to hear all the people that I haven't heard from. You know what I mean? And all this, I want to hear them come around again. You know?
Yeah.
Because I hadn't heard, so that was 3 years ago, you know, almost close to the day. I hadn't heard of them through COVID, the people I'm talking about. I don't mean all the people, you know what I mean? There's some people that are back there, like the more square you are, the more of a free pass you get. If you're like an older friend, you know what I mean? Or that just doesn't know anything about it, they don't know any of these rules that we're coming up with. Now, there are golden rules. The golden rule is treat people the way you want to be treated, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I think them like not completely being a schmohawk is enough. Like, I don't think they think it's crazy to be like, can you get us tickets? I think they think like it's a never ending.
Yeah. I mean, I sell potato chips for a living. You know what I mean? And you know how many people go like, yo, give me some free chips.
No, I don't. Because you want to give me stuff. And I'm like, yeah. How much should I cash? How much should I pay?
And it's every single day. Yo, let me get this for free. And my response is, do you think I don't pay for it? How do you think I get it?
Do you know who says to me, where do I get tickets? Do you know who says it?
Your good friends?
The people that I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You, Gavin,
right.
Billy, before he was in Billy's been in the operation basically his entire adult life since he was 20. So I guess there was never a time he needed a ticket, if we're being honest.
Fucking gag.
Who knows what I
Figured
would have
out a
been
way.
like? I might
Yeah,
have
he
been one
might
of
have
those
been an animal.
guys
Yeah. No
sneaking
one
in.
that is
He
on
crawls up
that
to the stage.
inner circle,
Find my way
you
back.
never have to do that list, has ever asked for one.
Right.
Isn't that the iron? Isn't this? I mean, isn't that?
And they
some sort of
automatically go on the
metaphor?
top of the list. Like,
Yes.
that's not even
Yeah.
a question.
Like
Those
they're
are
on
the people
list
at the top of the
before
list.
I make them. Like Jan
Right.
has
It's
the
like
list
you
and
would
goes,
know it as
"Yo,
like, you're like these
Gavin's
guys
there."
are good.
Like, is B bringing his wife? You know, like
Right.
those kind of questions.
Yeah,
They're all-
yeah.
they're
That's
all
literally
attached.
what happens.
It's literally like, is B coming alone or is he bringing his wife? Yo, is Jackie coming with Gavin? What about the kids? Oh,
Yeah.
well, he's got 3 and they're all grown. So do all the kids want to come? Just, you know what I mean? Who wants to come? Is Kath coming? Or, is Jackie got a tattoo that night? No. She's going to take off because it's your final show. They're all the one, of course, it's like, how many tickets should I get? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Pablo's
Well-
always second in command. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's my right. You know what I mean? That's my right hand, regardless. So he doesn't even count because we're together.
Right.
But it's just yeah, man. I mean, but see, that midget shit was so lit, and like me being like, tell that story about your man getting eaten by Jeffy. It's such a violation on my part that you're like, oh man, like I can't believe you started this show being like, the horror stories of touring and backstage is like, I didn't really tell none of the bad ones.
Right.
Because this went, you reminded me by saying something of the midget shit. And
Well, I
said, "Oh,
think
shit,
I'm
keep that
starting a
thought, keep that
list,
thought."
and we can go because I mean, there's tons of tour stories. Those you just told 2 that I don't know that I've ever even heard before, and I know of.
Well, what do you think
Countless.
about this?
So we start a
Maybe-
list.
Well, the
we
one,
have,
the
we
one,
have
of-
the
let's get
Jeffy
let's
ate
get
my
some,
friend.
the
and we
one where
have
I
the
fucking
midget.
wingman for him is like up to him, because he's got a different he's a different person.
Well, why don't we should start a series called Tour Stories.
No,
you-
war
you-
stories.
War.
It should be tour and then war in the little parentheses or
Perfect.
something.
So, and we could every few weeks, you could drop a little.
I mean, a lot of them are really funny though. So
right. Keep it light.
I like that a
No,
lot.
I mean, there's ways to go into the dark side without me getting upset. I tried to do my best to explain to both of you, because you couldn't be there for Philly for 2 different reasons. You were in New York. B, I'd say like
Billy keeps getting.
New
kept
York
getting
wasn't
sick
mega
back then.
hectic, but there was a lot of people there for it not being my hometown.
I thought that was very respectful, and in terms of like, no
That
one
might-
really violated.
that might be the most respectful, crowded backstage of my entire career.
Well, it was weird, right, Vin? Because you had the outside backstage, but then the room we were in was
Billy,
only like
the
10 like 8
outside
us.
of the backstage was like a pretty big
patio.
Oh, that's cool.
and that really took some pressure off. And there
Right.
were there 3 rooms, B, or 2? Because we put Crime Apple in one,
I know that,
but we're
yeah.
friends, so it could, we could both
right?
go back and
but
forth.
we were in the one with like the 4 couches,
Yeah.
right? And the coffee table in the middle. And then Pablo was kind of hanging because Pablo's such a head. He was like hanging and watching.
Yeah. Rashid
You know,
Chappelle, Outer Space.
Yeah. And then Sheed was out back with us, and then me, you, Bill, SO.
Yeah, you and Sheed were like talking boxing, and then I was like, B,
Right.
this is my man Steph. We rhymed together in Philly in the early 90s, but he's from here. And then like you and
Yeah.
Musa talk. Like,
Right,
Billy, it was more on some grown-up shit that night.
Right.
Like Ill Bill slid through, but he was with wifey. You know what I
Right.
mean? Eclipse was there, but he manages Rashid and spins for. So everyone was like either working or with wifey. So Ill Bill, his girl B, and his wife were like kind of having like, oh, what this spot to eat and da 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 da. So
Yeah, the
It was-
biggest crisis was the phone. Remember the phone charger situation was
Yeah.
terrible. There was
So
no outlets.
it
inside.
was heads B, but for some reason it ended up being like everybody that's on some like grown up shit.
right.
know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was dope though. We had a blast. We had a really like. That was like going to like a. It felt like a dinner. That's what I was saying. Like when Esso was on the show, it was like we're hanging out, and then Vinny and Seamus were like, "Oh shit, we got to go."
Yeah.
And it was like
Well,
got up and
That's another thing. Like I happen to be enjoying myself because of my company, but
Right.
that's a really bad feeling. Is tour manager or club manager going, yo, guys, 15 minutes. And I didn't even do anything yet, meaning decompression. Yo,
Right.
stop talking if your voice, like I can
Yeah.
talk. My voice is what my voice is. You know what I mean? That's from God. By that, I mean the strength of it. I don't mean, oh, my voice is so amazing. I mean the strength of it. Like
Yeah.
SO legit doesn't talk and just drinks
Right.
tea
Right.
from when he gets there until after the show, because he's like, yo, at any time it can go. You know what I mean? I respect that. It's professional. He doesn't
Sure.
want to happen. He's getting paid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, like I said, I think we should keep that tour, war stories in the back pocket. That was
Listen,
a fun
man,
episode.
at the end of the day, like, I love doing this because I love y'all. And I love that we created a podcast where I could tell these type of
It's called
stories.
tour stories.
But it's really our listeners that go like, though the illest, if you think the illest episode is Wu-Tang Forever, we can lean more into that. We're going to do everything we've done. We're going to tell my
Right.
career
Feedback
stories.
is essential.
Yeah, it's essential in moving forward, because if not, we're not going to stop. We're just going to do whatever the fuck we want. If you go, oh, that whole episode was mad boring of Vinny telling tour stories, then we have to navigate and either tighten it up shorter, because I'm long-winded. Brendan's a yak it on. I'm a yak it on. Billy has to reel us in. Certainly with knock him out the box he did. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, I could just, we're wrapping up now, episode 6, but I could have done like, there's 2, 3 in my head just off rip that I don't have to write down,
Yeah, that's you gotta save those.
Then there's the ones
Save
that
those
are
gems.
that are more like, okay, well, what about the early part where there was either the backstage, like there was one venue where the backstage was a literal crack house. And I have witnesses, meaning witnesses in the crew, that it was a crack house, and then other national acts that'll be like, oh, you know the spot with the crack house, John? Where there's just dope boys pumping.
That's a tour story.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, I could go into that. Like, but what I'm saying is like, go. There's a lot of the venues I mentioned, these backstages and shows, particularly these stories with my man's man getting eaten, no Puff, no Jeffy, no
Jeff.
Dama. My man getting packed up by Jeffy, and that New York venue and the Boston venue and the Philly venue. Like, these are all national established national venues that are really nice too. You know what I mean? There's also the grimy, like, yo, I have to fight the whole time I'm in the backstage because I'm in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we were in like near the 5th Ward at one time. Scarface invited us to a Ghetto Boy video shoot. I think that was 04. It was one of those when they got back together records, Ghetto Boys records. I think it was called Resurrection. Do you guys remember that Ghetto Boys album? It was it was the original. It was Willie. Well, not the original for those old head fans. The most known Ghetto Boys would be Willie D, Bushwick Bill, and Scarface. If you go back before that, there was Reddy Red, but they got back together in the early 2000s. And on that tour, they were shooting a video while I was in Houston. Like, come to the John, like in the 5th Ward projects.
All right. I think that's a good
Yeah. I'm just saying there's the war and the play on war and tour where it's the not all the glimmers that's gold. And then you see no one's there when you're no one wants to come to the show when it's in a crack house though. Why not? Why didn't the 100 people want to come? The 150 people that made their way into my backstage in Philadelphia in March 2023. I don't remember them fighting their way
because they can't brag about it
through the dope dealers,
Yeah.
where there was no door on the bathroom. So if someone had to drop douche, you had to hold it down like outside in the hall for your mans. You know what I mean? And then that's upstairs. Downstairs, you're just like, they're selling jumps while we're drinking 40s, just hanging out with them. Like, I'm just gonna make friends with these guys.
Right.
Because we're here all night. I ain't going nowhere and they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
They're
you gotta
working,
do what you
and
gotta
so
do.
am I.
Right. They got a job to do.
Yeah,
They're entertainers of sorts.
of some sort. So, guys, you got to write in, and if you're not big on writing in terms of fan mail or not fan mail, what's the
Yeah.
mailbag, just hit us up and let us know if what you like, at least. You know what I'm saying? And that can
Yeah.
always be in the comment section. But
Spotify
you gotta,
comments, all that stuff.
yeah, you gotta blow all those comments up, like on the when we post them on Facebook and on Instagram. And
Yeah, it all does
YouTube.
good for
Twitter,
the
it
algorithm.
all feeds the algorithm. It does help us, meaning with what you want, but it also helps the show blow up, because we're getting good numbers.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. Another good episode of Pop the Trunk. You can find me at the Killer B24 on Twitter, at Brendan Long KOTB on Instagram. Bill, what is our email?
Our email is mailbag@popthetrunkpod.com. Send in that feedback, questions, topics, the whole gamut.
Yeah, when you hit us with feedback, it helps us dictate what we're going to do on the show.
Sure.
Just
When you
don't
send
say
in
anything
good-
negative to Brendan, or he's gonna.
When you send
comment
in
back
good
to you.
questions, it
I
could
do
dictate an
comment back.
entire show.
Feeds the algorithm.
If
Yeah, I'll
you're-
write you back. You guys shit on me. I'm gonna write you back.
If your question's good enough, it can dictate a whole episode. You can
Then
find me
where they
at
get you. Yeah.
Boxcutter Pazzi on the gram, at Vinny_Paz on Twitter, jmtstore.com for all music. The Hidden Temple is out now. We're dropping a song a month. It's unreleased, exclusive, never heard before joints. There's some freestyles, some never heard before joints with Planet and I that we did in New York, in Brooklyn with Sean C, Vinyl Reanimators. Unreleased joints I did with Stoop. And we're going to press that on limited edition vinyl that I'm going to sign. So go over to jmtstore.com for that. There's the JMT Violent by Design colorway sneakers over there. Pop the Trunk tees are available. And music, everything go over there. jmtstore.com. Go over there for everything, guys. Just check it out over there and you'll find something you like. With that said, thank you for being with us. We'll see you next week, and say goodnight, Billy.
Good night, Billy.